This is the Big O Show.
Last time I did this, I almost had a heart attack. Anyway, welcome aboard.
Are you trying to get the people in Hialeah to hear you, man? Is that what you're missing them?
Yes, they can hear me out in Hialeah from Pembroke Pines. We are out here like we are every Friday for the last 10 years at Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines. Where are you? Keep your distance. Anyway, we are going to have some fun here today on the program. Sorry we're a little late there. We had a little technical snafu. It happens, but we're back, and we're on, and we're ready to rock and roll for the next couple of hours like we do every day here on the show. A big day today. Today's a huge day today because we are.
Oh, the plateau.
Yes. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Do we have the right side of the mic there? There, now we do. All right, it was upside down. I looked at it. I was going, hey, man, what's it doing? It's upside down.
You could see out in front. You could see behind there.
It's a beautiful thing. Anyway, so we've had a lot of changes. As you've noticed, the YouTube page is completely different now, looking really, really cool, and doing all kinds of – we're growing. Every day we're growing, and today's an enormous step on the show because 7 months ago – Bill and I started this journey doing it every day, Monday through Friday. And on weekends, sometimes we chime in and give you some material, depending on what happens, or depending if you bother me enough that you want me to do something. And we gave you that draft one over the weekend. But this afternoon, at least we hope, unless all of a sudden people stop downloading the show, but if the pace is the pace, the way it should be, the way it's been every day, this afternoon we will be crossing 1 million downloads on our program in 7 months. And so, Bill and I obviously, and many others, by the way, that are helping us with this along the way, from 300 Bs to John Cassio. Philippe is helping us now. Miguel, we've had so many different people that are
Carlos Picari.
There's so
Sean.
There's so many people that have helped us in so many different ways. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things that we are very appreciative, and obviously we can't do this without you guys. And to start this thing, when I started it was kind of like, well, will this work? And that, because, I know that this is kind of the way of the future, podcasting, because that's what's growing. Terrestrial radio's dying. Podcasting is growing. And 5-10 years ago, I wouldn't be able to do this. But now we notice that we can do this. We can actually make a living from this. People are listening. People will find you because of the internet. And there's still a couple of other features that we want to add. Live listening, that we're still working on that. And once this virus crap is over, we'll get through that. And eventually, we're going to figure out a way of phone calls. We're going to do that. But again, it's just everything takes time. Everything takes money. Everything takes sponsors. So we'll build it all up. We'll get there. But the good thing is we are getting there. We've got incredible sponsors, like, of course, Craig Zinn is a major sponsor of ours with Toyota and with Acura involved. So we really appreciate, obviously without our sponsors, there's no way we can build this show every day for you guys. So we're really, really excited. So keep downloading, keep spreading the word and telling people, to sign on SoundCloud or iTunes or Spotify at Big O Radio Show. And we appreciate it immensely, man. So hopefully this afternoon we'll post at one point or another that we hit 1 million downloads in our first 7 months, which is just absolutely amazing. We are really, really blessed on all of that. So always appreciate that. And make sure you stay safe all throughout the weekend. and stay away from groups of people. You know what I mean? Oh, did you see that lady that got arrested because she went to the Keys? Did you see that story
No, I did
at
not.
all, Bill?
But I have friends that live down in the Keys, and they've been going back and forth, splitting a couple days here, a couple days down there. And yeah, if you're not a resident, you're not allowed down there.
Right. No, I get that, my brother. So we were talking about craziness, and this one lady, she had to get down to the Keys because, well, it was on her bucket list. So she ends up coming up to the checkpoint over in the Keys, right when you come in, and they tell you, well, you can't come past this point. You don't work here. You don't live here, all of that. So she turns around. She's from Wisconsin. And she turns around, she leaves, but she all of a sudden turns around again and tries to get past a roadblock again. So in the process of trying to get past a roadblock, they told her again she can't go through. So she kind of refused, and so then they had to arrest her. Now, she was trying to explain that on her bucket list is that she wants to drive through all the bridges of the Keys, especially the 7 Mile Bridge. Now, I got to say, maybe it's a Wisconsin thing because all you got is cheese and cows and I don't know what that was. You got the Packers up there. Okay. There's really not a lot going on in Wisconsin.
Beer.
Okay, beer. That's right. Brats and beers in Milwaukee. I get it. There's not a lot in Wisconsin. But I would imagine since there's not a lot in Wisconsin, you would dream about the Eiffel Tower. You know what I mean? You would dream about seeing things like the Niagara Falls. And you would dream about seeing some pretty spectacular things. This woman from Wisconsin, on her bucket list, she wants to drive through the bridges of the Keys? Really? Is that like something phenomenal enough for anybody?
If you don't have it, we take it for granted because we got it here.
No. Come on. I've been all over the country, bro. I'd rather, what's his name? Pat, the Arizona Cardinal that died in the Army.
Pat Tillman.
Pat Tillman. I'd rather be on the Pat Tillman Bridge over any bridge in the Keys, even the 7 Mile Bridge. For those of you that don't know, the Pat Tillman Bridge is high above the Hoover Dam. So you're looking down on the Hoover Dam, both sides of the Hoover Dam, so you see the uneven, level of it all, which is an amazing engineering feat, and the bridge and everything that divides it all, and just like awesome. I remember I have this killer, that little killer camera I have that focuses in on anything. Okay, that bridge, I crap you not, is about maybe a mile away from the center of the Hoover Dam. I got my camera, and there were 3 Lamborghinis crossing the Hoover Dam. I focused in on all 3 Lamborghinis. Okay? I mean, that right there in itself was way better than anything of the bridges in the Keys. Yeah, but it's just a couple bridges going through water. Big deal.
Yeah, but the thing is, we're used to it. We see it all the time. You go to St. Petersburg. Up in Wisconsin, they don't have nothing like that.
You stand
That's what it
on
is.
the Pat Tillman Bridge. You will be
I get what you're saying.
More impressed.
But they don't have it, and we don't appreciate it because we see it all the time. It's nothing.
Bucket list, bro. Come on.
Yeah, man.
Bucket
list.
That's a weak ass bucket list. I think she just wanted a key lime pie and couldn't get in the Keys. You tell me that I am coming down to the Keys to have a key lime pie. I'm in.
Oh man, not key, dude. Get some conch, get some stone crabs. Stuff like that.
You go to Joe's for stone crabs. You don't even go to the Keys. But just key lime pie. I'll give you some conch. That's fine. Maybe at the Keys. Although by Jackson High, you can get some great conch.
Kongtown, USA.
That's right, Kongtown, USA. Is Kongtown, USA still there by Jackson?
Of course.
Are they open?
Yes.
Are they essential?
If you want fried conch, yeah.
I think I might go get some after this. On my way home, stop, get some fried conch over at Kongtown, USA, then go home. That might make sense. That might be an option for me. But I mean, come on. Crossing the bridges, that's your bucket list? Come on, lady. You got to come up with better bucket list than that. That's a weak ass bucket list.
You
right
don't
there.
realize, man, that 7 Mile Bridge, that's a big deal. It is. Okay?
Oh, come on. It's just a bridge over
No,
water.
yeah, see, you don't, like I said, because we see it all the time. We don't appreciate it. You know?
It's nothing big. It's just a bridge over water. That's it. There's plenty of bridges over water. Drive down I-10, and as you go right through New Orleans, you'll go through a couple of those bridges that are over water. Big deal. Ugly ass brown water, too, by the way. This one's a little nicer, I will say that. Nice blue ocean. So a little different than the ones over on I-10, but still,
It's very unique.
It's
The Keys is a unique place,
It's a weak ass bucket list.
in your opinion.
I'd rather be at the deepest point south than the bridge itself. I'd rather be in downtown Key West.
Oh, the
than the
southern.
bridge
You're
itself.
talking about the southernmost point.
Yeah, that's more than any of the stupid bridges. Big deal, bro. I'd rather be at Sloppy Joe's, listening to the music, having a couple drinks. That's way better than going across some bridges.
I'm thinking Fat Tuesday, a 190 octane with a floater.
Dude, we crossed one bridge 3 times already in the last couple months. That's nicer than any of those bridges. The Skyline Bridge in Tampa. That's nicer. I mean, come on. It's just the 7 Mile Bridge is just a bridge. Right over the water. That's it. There's nothing
It's
to it.
historical, man. When they did that back in the day originally.
No, you know what's historical? Going on the old bridge and surviving. That's historical. Okay?
No,
On the old bridge, if you cross that bridge and your life is intact, that is historical right there. Because that bridge was scary.
What do you want to be in a movie?
For you young folks out there, you never had to experience the old 7 Mile Bridge when. Oh yeah, that was a hell of an experience. I will say, what a hell of an experience.
That and probably driving down Alligator Alley back in the day.
Yes.
Okay.
Bloody 27. Let's make sure we call it by its earned name. Bloody 27. Okay? All right? I went and checked on the YouTube page a second. Some guy goes, hey, stop hating on Lamar. Oh, AB's not that bad a guy.
AB is not that bad of a guy.
Yeah, that's a loser.
All the documented.
That's a loser fan that is hoping he signs with his team. Again, it's the attitude that if you can play, we'll forgive anything that you do, and that kind of stuff. And that's why John Jones is what he is, because he knows people will give him a break. But it's a weak ass.
He comes to your neighborhood. He gets in a condo and he starts throwing couches off the balcony. You change your opinion of that real quick.
Big time. A little roll call here. Flipside Fishing is in. Ian from Brooklyn said, let the games begin. Paul Susky is in saying, vamos. Bro Marshmelly says, Big O with the Michael Jackson gloves again. Yes. Yeah, I'm out, bro. If I'm out, I'm wearing a mask and gloves. The only reason I'm not wearing a mask is because we're really not around people. You know what I mean? We're outside, and it's just Bill and me. And so I kind of only hang around him or my family, and that's it. He does the same thing. So we're kind of around the same people. It's one of those deals. So, yeah, Michael Jackson for us. Although I need some rhinestones, right?
What you need is the red
jacket. If it's a
jacket.
Michael Jackson glove, no, but I need some stones, right? It's got to have some shine to it. It's not good enough to be Michael's glove.
Little bling on your gloves, man.
Yeah, bling. King Short says, good morning, Big O and fam. Let's rock. George Also says, congrats, guys, on the 1 million downloads. Thank you. Not yet, but we're almost there. Dennis Akers, good morning, brothers. Happy Friday. Stay safe. Nico Jones chiming in. Mike No-Go Zones is in. He says, for real? Couldn't our bucket list wait? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Crossing the bridges, that's nothing. That's not something that you really need to do. Ty from the Bronx is in. Billy Batson, I think it is. I would love to drive those bridges too. Plus, check out Captain America, Pat Tillman's bridge too. Pat Tillman's bridge is awesome. And you get to walk it. I was going to take your stupid ass over there. Because you go do the Hoover Dam stuff, right? And for those of us that have been to the Hoover Dam years ago, the Pat Tillman Bridge wasn't there. Pat Tillman Bridge was just built, I want to say the last 10 years, something like that. Not exactly sure, but then, and they've got, where you can actually walk onto the Pat Tillman Bridge and stand there and look down into the Hoover Dam and all that. I'm telling you, that, you want bucket list? Pat Tillman Bridge is a bucket list bridge. Okay? I mean, walk the Golden Gate. That's bucket list, dude. That is bucket list. Golden Gate. Keys Bridges, come on, man. Come on. Relaxing in the Keys is bucket list. Robert Gonzalez wants Isaiah Simmons at 5. DraftKings, FanDuel, GPP Central says, yo, yo, yo. Billy Batson says, Big O, whenever you invite a guest for Jets Talk, could that guest be WFAN's Joe Benigno? I would love to hear you two banter about. I don't know Joe at all. I could bring him on. Although I did hear him, he loved Mike Tannenbaum. I think I heard him say that. He thought it was a mistake to get rid of Mike Tannenbaum. So that would be a pretty short conversation. Dominic Veluso, how often do you change the gloves? Well, that's the thing. I'll be changing the gloves. Dominic, I didn't know if I should get into this conversation. You sneaky bastard, you, Dominic Veluso. All right, here we go. So yesterday, I wore the gloves, right? And you know that if you go to the bathroom, what do? You're not going to hold your pecker with the gloves. So then you got to take off the gloves. So you basically got to throw them away. And I realized that yesterday. And so I go, well, wait a minute. If I got to go to the bathroom, and this was towards the end of the show. So I go, you know what? I'll just hold it and I'll wait till after. Because I knew I would have to take off the gloves and then go to the car and go get a new pair. So Dominic, you are on target, bro. Because, you have to change them. Yeah. No, I mean, listen, I only plan on wearing, I went to the bathroom before to wash my hands, and then I put on the gloves. Because I want to make sure I got to the bathroom before I started the show. I mean, I drink a lot of water, so I usually have to go a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised that if I end up going to the bathroom later on in the show, then I'm going to have to go to the car and get another pair. But yeah. But it's only when I'm outside, Dominic. Once I get in the car and go home, I take them off and I'm done. That's it. But while I'm outside, yes, no doubt. And now I'm going to start wearing my mask every time I go somewhere else, to go get food or whatever. I got to go load up on some water today. I got to go find some Fiji. I'll be wearing my mask whenever I go into any of the supermarkets.
Yeah, new criterias.
Yeah. Just wear mask. You know what? Wear mask and shades. That way you save your eyes, too.
And they said if you can't get a mask, put a scarf on something, because they're saying that it isn't about coughing or this or sneezing. It's about breathing and even talking now.
Well, on Amazon now, they're promoting it. They're selling those scarves like the bikers wear that they go all the way down. And the good thing is those things go over your ears, too. So that's pretty cool for you. And they're designed. So you could get one of maybe your favorite band or favorite football team or basketball team or all that. So Obviously these companies are jumping on it because they know they're going to be able to make money. And you know what? It's good to have it around now from here on out because you just never know. We've talked about this before. I'm using masks from now on whenever I go on a plane. Guaranteed. Sleeping on a plane, hanging out on the plane, I'm going to be wearing my mask every single time just because planes are disgusting. So that already, I already know that my N95 mask that I bought, I'm going to be able to wear it over and over and over again because I'm going to wear it for other things from here on out, just for protective purposes. What the hell? It's worth it. That's it. And since we were smart and we got ours early, we were able to get stylish masks too. You loved my wife's mask yesterday.
Man, I like that way better than your red one.
Yeah. Well, I got red because it's my color, but I mean, so yeah, hers is nicer. Yeah. Actually, the one I got from my daughter, I think, is the coolest one. That's the one that's really nice. The one that my wife has, my mother-in-law has the same one because I bought them both the same ones. So yeah.
The one that I got coming next week, that all black, I was looking for gray, but obviously it's limited.
Black's better. It'll be cleaner, bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The gray one will get dirty on you. So, Amber Alert just rang. Stay away 6 feet away. Oh, yeah, I saw that. And we're getting a lot of those alerts, right? It's just heartbreaking whenever it's like a real alert, like for a kid. That just eats me up alive. If you want my opinion on gloves, they are good. If you are swapping them out frequently, wipe everything down on your workstation as soon as you touch a door handle. You need to swap them. No, I agree. I don't touch any door handles. I try to open it with my body. If I can push it in with my body, I try to do it that way. But I try to stay away from as many door handles as possible. So I am with you. Bengals fans should have a plethora of masks lying around. Okay. Luis Vasquez Jr. says, top of the morning, Big O. What else do we have? Douglas Anderson says, my wife makes masks for $7. She made me a Miami Dolphin mask. Now, wait a minute. Hold on, Douglas. Hold on. Did she make it with the new or old logo? See, that's the key right there. Because if you're wearing the new logo, I'd rather catch a virus.
Do you got a porpoise or you got a killer whale?
They're asking me if I could display the N95 mask. I did already. Come on, Call of Duty 1. You're on here a lot. I did it. Was it last week or the week before that I brought out the mask?
It was exactly
and it
1
was here.
week ago today.
And it was here. It was here because I walked over to the car. Yeah, I can.
I told you look like the Road Warrior.
Yeah, maybe on one of the breaks I'll get it.
The King of the Wasteland.
Yeah.
The Ayatollah Rocco Rolo.
If you want true protection, you need to wear protective goggles and a mask with the gloves, and you'll be fine. That's right. But wearing the mask, at least you get some protection. You know what I mean? If you can get the goggles too, then you wear the goggles. But either way, you're getting some protection. Look, professionals are wearing the mask for a reason. So there's a reason why. So, yeah, if you can protect your eyes and your ears and your mouth and your nose, great. You've covered every orifice that it could actually sneak into. I understand that. But for now, if I'm not covering my eyes at the moment with some goggles, at least the nose and the mouth where you breathe in a lot of crap, it's protected. And that's what counts for me. So that's the way I would look at it. I'll tell you this. Here's a story that is now starting to make the rounds, and we talked a little bit about a portion of that story yesterday. Remember I was having a little fun with Antonio Brown actually practicing with Lamar Jackson, and I was, having some fun that maybe John Harbaugh should be a little nervous, and I don't even think the Ravens will sign Antonio Brown. I don't think they're that stupid to add that guy to their roster, to their locker room, more importantly. But the one thing that I was picking on when I saw this was that the guys were actually hanging around each other and like hugging each other. Like both Browns and Jackson were all hugging each other. And those guys don't live together and they're not constantly hanging out. Like, I'll give you an example. Bill and I we hang out with each other right here doing the show, and then he goes to his house and I go to my house. That's it. We're not going out anywhere. We're in the same place with the same people. He's with his, family. I'm with my family. That's it. We're not going out anywhere, nothing. So we're not bringing any other germs from anywhere. It's the same people we've been around, so we're kind of controlling it, right? There's no way that Brown, Jackson, and AB have been hanging out every day together and all the same people. They just came together for a workout. And then you get all sweaty and all that, and now you're hugging each other and you're all around each other. And by the way, you're throwing a football that somebody else is catching. And that football carries sweat and germs. Okay? So you're doing all of and you're touching your face and hair and all that come on.
I got another one. They spit on the field. The ball hits the field. There's spit all over the ball.
Yeah. So you start looking at Des Bryant now and Dak Prescott and like 3 other guys. And so they were all like hugging each other and taking pictures. And we're in the middle of this whole thing. And we just went through the Rudy Gobert thing. But this is the athlete's invincible attitude. And it's going to be interesting to track these kind of guys now over the next couple of weeks to see if anything comes from this. Because none of them are hanging around each other and live with each other. So they don't know where all of them have been exactly and who they're hanging out with and where those people have been who are hanging out with them. You understand what I'm saying? So it's really amazing to me how I get you got to work out, but you do things and you should do them the right way and send the right example, because you're not sending the right example by practicing and sweating up and then you're hanging around each other. I mean, we just saw 70 Texas students go to Cabo San Lucas, and 44 of them came back with the coronavirus. Why? Because they're all amongst each other. It doesn't matter if the heat and humidity that people talk about. If you have the virus, brother, you're gonna spread it to somebody else. Now you notice how they're talking about how it could be spread just by talking, that you could have it on the back of your throat and it goes out into the air. That's another reason why they want you to wear the mask, so you don't spread it too. I saw that by Des Bryant and Dak Prescott, and I was like, man, guys, you are sending a terrible signal right now. I just found that to be absolutely irresponsible. I got to be honest. The other story, I want to, look, I never have a problem going out on a limb. I've never had that problem for 30 years doing radio here in this town. Whether I go out on a limb and I tell you the Ndamukong Suh deal is a terrible deal, and I explain why and all that stuff, and whether it's good or bad, whether I'm right or wrong, and I've done it plenty of times where I've been right and I've also been wrong, okay? And I go out on a limb and I say, hey, this is going to happen, and it does or it doesn't, right? And I told you guys that I wanted Tom Brady to come back to the New England Patriots because I wanted to see the Dolphins take them down at full strength. I wanted to see Belichick and Brady, and I saw what Miami did at the end of the year in Foxborough, and I just think the tide is turning. I really do. And we've had this conversation before. I saw Chuck Noll lose it. I saw Tom Landry lose it. I saw Don Shula start losing his fastball also. So don't make it sound like great coaches, all of them stay great all the time. We've talked about this, that a lot of times, most of these situations, they end up ugly, okay? Doesn't matter if you're Joe Montana. Doesn't matter if you're Tom Brady. Doesn't matter if you're Don Shula. You can get pushed out at any time. It is what it is. And Belichick, everything's gone perfect for him at times. Every break in the book has gone his way. Having Tom Brady has gone his way. Okay? And I know that it's really easy to lean to the 1 year with Matt Castle at 11-5. Okay? I get all of that. Super easy to lean that way and say, okay, well, Brady was out. They went 11-5 with Castle. That guy's a badass. Well, he is a badass. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He might be the greatest coach of all time. I think things are going to start to fall apart now. And when you went 11-5 with Matt Castle, it's because that was a great team also at that time. He doesn't have a great team right now. That's why they got their asses beat by Tennessee. Okay? That's why Miami beat them in Week 17. So now you lost the greatest quarterback of all time and a slew of players, and you've lost some coaches. And I know he's been always able to recover, but he's always had Tom Brady. I just think he's lost too much this time. And so I saw where the GM of the Bills did what he was supposed to do, Brandon Beane. He goes, the team to beat in the East is the Patriots. He told the media during a video conference on Thursday. And until somebody beats them, they are the team to beat. And as long as Bill Belichick's there, you're talking about probably the greatest head coach of all time that was paired with the greatest quarterback of all time. So until we beat them, we've done nothing. We've got our work cut out for us. He's right. He's right. On paper, that's the way you're supposed to look at it. By tradition, that's the way you're supposed to look at it. But I'm not going by any of that. I'm going by what I think is going to happen in the future. And at the moment, I don't see a quarterback on that team that scares me. If Tom Brady could not elevate them over the Dolphins in Week 17 and could not beat Tennessee, well then, what are they? How good are they? And now they've lost a whole bunch of players. And oh, by the way, Bill Belichick has not done a really good job drafting. He's made a lot of mistakes drafting. And I remind people that all of the other quarterbacks pretty much he's picked, they're not special. Garoppolo's the closest one, and he's a good player, but he's not Tom Brady. So it's not like Belichick finds a great quarterback all the time. He's no Ron Wolf. Let's just be honest here. Okay, Ron Wolf drafts Brett Favre. Okay, he also finds Mark Brunell, Aaron Brooks to a lesser extent, drafts Matt Castle. So I would go with a guy like that, and that's a quarterback track record. Yeah, he got Tom Brady. And he's lived off of all of that. And even that 1 year where they went 11-5, they were overachieving because they lost Tom Brady, and they knew that they were coming and getting him back next year. So it was a pride thing that carries you that year. But if you keep playing with Matt Castle, you're not going 11-5 the following year. I think Matt Castle proved what he was after all of that. And it was an aberration. And guess what? Derek Anderson had that aberration. And plenty of others have had that aberration where they showed up for a season and played well, or half a season and made a run. And people thought, well, maybe this guy's a real deal. And no, he's not. And so my point is that, yeah, on paper, there's no doubt that the Patriots should be considered the team of the division. But I don't believe that's true. I don't believe it at all. I think the Patriots are going to struggle. And they're going to struggle big time this year. And I think they're going to get incredibly humbled by the Bills, by the Dolphins. I don't know about the Jets because I don't trust Adam Gase. I don't trust the Bills quarterback either. But their defense is good enough that they should be able to handle the Patriots. And that Patriot defense, they lost some guys and they weren't nearly as good as everybody labeled them out to be, including yours truly, by the way, that I thought they were going to be pretty damn good. And they never really played to that elite level that people expected them to be. And, you know, they got a pretty good corner there with the Patriots. I saw a pretty good wide receiver for the Dolphins make him look silly in the final game of the season. I'm just saying. I'm not here, and I just think that the Patriots aren't going to be as special as everybody thinks that as they have been in the past. I think we live too much in the past at times with all of this. And so when I look at Tom Brady, that he's now in Tampa, and I see Bill Belichick with nothing at quarterback right now, and as much as I like Jarrett Stidham as a project guy, he's still in his second year with no experience. That's a tough wall to climb. He lost his offensive line coach. He lost the best quarterback in the history of the NFL. He lost several really good players. I just don't see it. Like this team is going to all of a sudden overcome all of this. I think this is the end of an era. That end of an era that we were all waiting for, that we were all dying for. I was hoping that Miami would put the nail in the coffin and kick their ass into the end of that era. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. But I think what is going to happen, that Miami's going to become the better team in this division over the next couple of years. This year's kind of a transition year because Miami is still trying to figure it all out. If they get a quarterback outside of Fitz, look out. Look out. But the pace that Miami's going in, the picks that they have, they hit on their picks, which I believe they're going to hit on a lot of the good picks. They're going to take that next step. I'm just saying, man, to me, it's not a given in my eyes that they are the team to beat. I think that's a paper statement. Because if I look by facts and substance, I don't see enough on that football team to say, oh, no, they're worlds ahead of everybody. No, for sure. Buffalo's got a better team than them right now. Buffalo should be the winner of the division, I believe. But I think Miami has a shot because they have Josh Allen. Yeah, the guy that thought they would win 0 and they won 5, now I'm telling you that they may have a shot in this division. Yeah, I do. I thought that the way they handled free agency was masterful. They hit on all the spots that they needed. They attacked areas that they knew was a weakness in the draft. And with the slew of picks that they have, they're going to be able to fix a lot of their issues on offense. That by next year, when we roll into that next draft, wow, this team's going to be amazing after we get over to the next draft. I know, I get it. I'm going to get slammed for being too positive about it, and I'm crazy and all that. It's just, I get it. Hey, look, I get slammed when Joe Philbin gets hired, and I tell you, he's crap. He's not going to do anything. But that's what I do. I'd rather tell, hey, plenty of people are now getting off the Tua bandwagon, or in the last month or two, I was off that Tua bandwagon before the hip injury, that last knee injury. I'm good. I'm good with going out on a limb. If it goes well, you'll praise me, and if it doesn't, you'll slam me. It's all right. It's all part of the game. It's all good. But I'm sorry. I'm not here to give the Patriots the crown. I don't believe they're that team anymore. I just don't. I think they've lost way too much. And in history, I've watched guys kind of run out of juice. And if you look at that Patriot franchise, it looks like now it's finally running out of that juice.
Oh, well, it only lasted 19 years.
Exactly.
Like, good riddance. Go.
Yes. Go away. Go away. I think it's finally going to go away.
And you're not supposed to be with Sour. You're not supposed to be able to do that.
No.
At the most, right? A 4 or 5 year run. Correct?
Now, 4 or 5 year run in football is awesome.
Yeah, that's like the max.
It's freaking awesome.
These guys did 4 times that.
Yeah. So, if we lose to Stidham, then we weren't going to beat Brady and the Patriots this year. Yeah, that's right, but they beat Brady last year. So that's why, I'm not worried about it. Belichick has been a defensive genius for almost 4 decades now. Uses KISS concepts. Take away what you do best. Yeah, well, what happened in Week 17? Could he take away Devontae Parker? Ask Stephon Gilmore, who was his bitch. I'm not sure if you noticed that, but Devontae Parker walked onto the field and looked at Stephon Gilmore and says, "You're my bitch today, and I'm going to make you my bitch all day long." So I'm not sure what you're talking about, but that's what I'm telling you. The genius, not so genius anymore. Why? So what were the strengths of the Dolphins in Week 17? Didn't he need that game for a bye week? So why couldn't the genius take away the strengths of the Dolphins? A stripped-down Dolphins team. You go ahead. That's what I'm telling you. People are falling into the past. That's all. It's lazy thinking. Well, Belichick did it for 20 years. He's going to continue doing it. Well, yeah, where's Tom Brady, dude? Like, I get when Bill Walsh is going to continue winning because he's got Steve Young. I get it when you're the Colts and you feel, no, we can move away from Peyton Manning. We got Andrew Luck. What's he got? Tell me what he has. What is it? What scares you about that Patriot offense? Please tell me. What receiver is terrifying you in the Patriot offense? Sony Michel breaking down in every other play, scaring you too? Don't believe the hype. Don't fall for the hype. I'm telling you. This division is as open as it's ever been. It's lazy thing. How many times do I tell you guys that we have too many people that are just tools and they don't think for themselves? They're just lazy, and then they hear some talking head or they read something the writers say, and then they just repeat it. Yeah, no, Dolphins are tanking. Dolphins are tanking. Well, yeah, then what happened at the end of the year when they had 5 wins and they went 5-4? How's your tanking theory working out now? Oh, that's what they all said. Who? The Dolphins didn't say they were tanking. They didn't walk out there and say, well, we want to purposely lose. They never said that. They just said they were going to rebuild. And we told you rebuilding with youth is what they do. And you're going to lose a lot with youth. And guess what? They ended up winning with youth. I'm telling you, don't believe the hype. The wheels are going to start coming off the Patriots. And your beloved Miami Dolphins are going to be there to take over that division. It's going to happen. You will see. Watch the next couple of years. And this year, I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots don't even make the playoffs. Okay? In fact, it's the other way. I'd be surprised if they make the playoffs. That's how much I think the wheels are going to fall off. I think it's lazy to think that all of a sudden you lose a franchise quarterback and you're going to overcome that. Only because of Matt Castle. That's it. That's the only reason the lazy thinking is out there.
That one guy, Brady, makes up for all their shortcomings. And short
receivers.
Shortcut any area that they're weak. You know what I mean? They don't have a bunch of backs. Blah. He makes up. The receivers, yeah, we've talked about it. Well, Randy Moss. That's it. Everybody else is, yeah, whatever. That one guy, they don't have that bridge to fill that gap anymore. That guy's not there.
No, he's not. You got a napkin. Spilled a bunch of water here.
That could be arranged.
Please. All right. Anyway, so but that's just me. that's fine. Save the video, save the audio, use it against me later on, make fun of me.
It'll be podcasted.
Yeah, it'll be there. It won't go anywhere.
It's
It'll be
looking like segment number 5 for April 3rd.
Yeah. So, what can I tell you? But I'm sorry. I don't believe the hype. I am not believing it whatsoever. No way.
Hey, I got an idea. Just take a break, man. You've been at it for 45 minutes, sir.
Well, we haven't taken a break yet in this first hour, right?
That's what I'm saying, man.
All right, so let's just go to the top of the hour, and then we'll just take
You're
the
just
break
okay.
there.
Then I'm gonna go get a napkin.
Yeah, go ahead, get the napkin, and I'll just I do. There's a couple of things.
Continue moseying on.
Yeah, there's a couple. I mean, there's plenty of things to talk about here on the program today, which is good. We're gonna have at 1 o'clock, Tass Mellis is gonna stop by, and we'll have a little fun with Tass. We were gonna have him on yesterday, but we'll have him on today. At 1:30, we'll talk to Mike Ferlino. Mike No Go Zones. His video is out. His Syria video, and actually Lebanon, and let me tell you, it's really cool. It's a short video because it was more. He was in Lebanon on his way to Syria, and for those of you that don't know, he's one. We brought Mike on a couple weeks back. We're gonna bring him on again to talk a little bit about the video in Lebanon, and again, the pictures there, it's like you would never imagine what your mind's eye has of Lebanon is. You just see death and destruction, and it was just a whole different thing there. It wasn't death and destruction. It was clean. It was very Western. It was like you were going to the Grove or something. It's really odd. You know what I mean? So we'll have Mike on, and we'll talk a little bit about that with him at 1:30. And go to his YouTube page, Mike No Go Zones. He goes to places that most people won't. Chicago is next. Once the pandemic is done, he's going to go to Chicago, where, again, of course, a lot of people won't go to Chicago. So he's, Opelika, Baltimore, where else? Several places that you normally don't think of going because they say, oh, the neighborhood's terrible. And then he goes and he shows you that it's not really as bad as people think it is. In fact, it's pleasant. The people are nice. It's just, what we end up talking about in the media. So I just thought it's interesting. So we'll have Mike on at 1:30 to talk a little bit about that. Of course, you can always get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, because that's like a 24-hour talk show there on Twitter at Big O Show. We're coming to you live from Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines, and we do it every Friday out here. We'll be out here for a couple of hours. And remember, they've got several things going on, like 90 days, no pay. So if you do buy or lease a vehicle, you won't actually have to make a payment for 90 days. They will deliver the vehicle to your home also if you want to buy or lease the vehicle online, do all the purchasing, everything. You can do it, and then they'll drive the car right to your house. How about that? And they've also got the Acura loyalty program going on. So if you own or lease an Acura, like we have two in our home, you want to buy or lease another one, they will give you $500 towards the purchase of that Acura. So there you go. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? So come on down to 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines. Make sure you tell them that Big O sent you. Trust me, they will take care of you here at the finest dealership in the business, and it is Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Did you see the story with Tony Boselli?
No, I did not.
Tony Boselli has COVID-19, dude.
Wow.
Yeah. And he tells a story because it actually kicked his ass. Now, his wife had it, and she had no symptoms. It didn't affect her whatsoever. Meanwhile, Boselli, who is not a small individual by any chance, not an old guy either. Okay, I mean he's probably.
He's been retired for what, like 7, 8?
I'm 53. He's got to be. There it is, 47. I knew he was a little young. I was gonna say 50. He's 47. So listen to this. He spent 5 days hospitalized in the Mayo Clinic. All right. His 47-year-old wife Angie also tested positive, but her symptoms were far less severe, resulting in no fever, and that she has fully recovered. She never had to be hospitalized. Now, for him, he had to be hospitalized. He was hooked up to 2 IVs. He needed oxygen to restore his breathing to a proper level. He was admitted to ICU on the 25th of March and not released until Monday. And he goes, for whatever reason, COVID-19 buried me, and it didn't do much to her, Boselli said. She's obviously much tougher than I am. She had 7 to 10 days where she didn't feel like herself, but her symptoms were mild. Though not declaring himself fully recovered, Boselli says he feels much better and hopes to start riding his beach cruiser the moment that he tests back negative. I can still feel my lungs aren't all the way back. I have no fever. The cough is under control. I get tired quicker, but I'm starting to answer emails. So there you go. How about that? I mean, that kind of shows you what this thing is all about, and how they don't know. Even the experts. You know, it's you go from trying to keep people in their homes to keep people spaced out to, you know, the masks aren't that important. Now the masks are really important. Now it's, you know, stay home. It's all this kind of stuff. They go through different stages. Now they're telling you yesterday that you can spread it simply by talking, that it could be a possibility. That's because this thing is such an unknown, and it has become, it's so deadly, too, on top of all of that, and so unpredictable. And you just don't know who it's going to hurt and who it's not going to affect. You know how many of us have probably had it? We walked around for the last 2 weeks with it, and then it's gone now. But you didn't know you had it. It didn't affect you. Now there's somebody else gets it, and boom, it cripples you. I mean, we told you Buddy Baker's story, the NFL agent. Both his parents were healthy. Both of them died 6 minutes apart from COVID-19 over the weekend. Come on, man. You know, and then there's that thing that they say that women, because their immune systems are stronger and they have 2 Y chromosomes and all that stuff, that it doesn't affect them as much. But then you look at Buddy Baker's parents, and they both died simultaneously, 6 minutes apart. And I don't know, that might be more a product of that they were married for 51 years. I am a strong believer that there's, you know, when people have been together a long time, there's this connection that it's a symbiotic thing, that it's not something you can physically see. It's not an umbilical cord that connects them, but there is an emotional tie that if one goes, the other one is going to be too depressed to stick around, and it just like they give out too. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was a little something like that with Buddy Baker's parents, because how many times have we seen it when 2 people have been together for a long time, and one goes, the other one goes shortly after. I mean, Mad Dog, when we lost Mad Dog, we lost Bonnie soon after. And that's
more the norm. It's rare when somebody survives for a long time.
Yeah.
It is more the standard.
Yeah. When they're, I mean, it's usually people that have been together a long time. You know, when that happens, it's sad, terribly sad. But it tells you how, you know, Boselli, and that guy's a wall. All right, we got 1 hour down. Got a couple more to go. If you want to get in on the program, it's really simple, man. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. And again, there on YouTube. Remember, while you're watching on YouTube, give us the thumbs up, the likes there. Also, the share button. Grab it. Share the link of the YouTube feed. Send it to a friend on text. Post it on Twitter, on Facebook. Share to people. Tell them we're here. We'll take a break. Back for hour number 2 right here on the Big O Show, live from Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
Will reimburse payments up to a total of $1,800 based on purchase and MSRP on approved credit on select models. Excludes tax, tag, title, and includes $8.99 dealer fee. Offer ends 5/4/20. Toyota of Hollywood is open, and we're here to serve you. The safety of our customers and associates is our top priority. Toyota of Hollywood is following strict guidelines, including social distancing and keeping our facilities clean and sanitized. Buy with 0 down, 0% APR financing, and we'll make your payments till 2021. Pay up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 2019 pre-owned Camry LE, not $27,000, $16,775. 2020 pre-owned Corolla LE, not $22,000, $13,775. Shop and save at our 400,000 square foot dealership at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2019 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Ask and you shall receive. We are in the mask. Those of you that were asking me about the mask and you're wondering if I would whip out the mask, here is my N95 mask. No? What do you think?
Totally road warrior.
Ready to go. There you go. So, there you go. But I can't do the show this way. I wish I could. But then it's all muzzled the entire time, so I can't do that. But there you go. That's my mask. And I'm sticking to it. Of course. Got to put it inside my my little Ziploc. Keep it away from stuff. There you go. All right? I told you I carry my mask around. I have it there. Always ready. Always prepared. What comments what insults am I getting, by the way? Let's see. Let me live in peace says Miami needs O-lines, tight end, and running backs before getting a QB. Sir, they've got Gesicki. He did a nice job this past year. Why do you want to give up on Gesicki so quickly? Let's see. He says, in Greer we trust. Go Gators also says it. One thing for sure is that Miami needs to be much more physical next season. We need to be the bullies. Well, but they were young, so they've got to draft. I mean, that comes with building up the team. George Arthur says, what up, Big O? Kick-ass mask, bro. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Let's see. Flipside Fishing says, I want to say finish him with that mask on. Love it. Myron Sanchez says, ha. Go Gator says, bro, I can barely hear you with the mask. Yeah, no, I can't keep the mask on and do the show. But I just wanted to show you the mask. Scorpion, finish him. Let's see. George Arthur says, I'm thinking Wirfs or Becton. I got no problem with either one. And then snag a QB in the second like Anthony Gordon. I got no problem with that, actually. I really don't. Call of Duty 1 says, the mask is fire. I need one. What is it called? I would have to look it up on my Amazon thing and tell you what it's called. But I don't think you can get them anymore. I remember I got that mask like a month ago now. So that's where I can look it up here in my orders, and I can tell you if you want. Let me see. When I find it here, I'll tell you. Let me see what we got here. Mike Monaco from the Bronx says, I have condoms with the same design of your mask. Well, that's an ugly condom. And Myron likes the mask. All right, so most of you like the mask, actually. I expected you guys to make fun of me. It's called AXSYON, Axion Dust Mask. Okay? Oh, and I'm sorry, it's an N99. My mask, not N95, N99. So there you go. Whatever, 99, 95, what the hell? It doesn't matter.
You know what the difference is, correct?
It's like thicker material, big deal. There's
well,
my
it's
daughters.
about more minuscule sized particles can get in on a 95. The 99, it's got a tighter filter.
All right, look. There you go. That's hers. The one I got for my daughter is actually nicer. But yeah. So there you go. AXYON Dusk. And by the way, you hit that on Amazon now, and it goes, you can't find it on the page. It's gone. It's completely gone. So it doesn't exist on Amazon. Now, that's not to say that somebody else may have it or something along those lines. Okay? But there you go. That's the mask. And whether you get an N99 and N90, just get a mask. Okay? Just protect yourself and get one. And better to be, safe than sorry. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. And apparently the NFL is looking at multiple scenarios for the draft. Now, you look at this whole situation because the NFL now is. Remember, we talked about it yesterday that the Saints have a sports bar that they're going to go to. That Gail Benson, the owner of the Saints, she owns that bar. So I don't know if they're going to be approved for that. It doesn't seem like it because now, with the whole COVID-19 thing, the NFL on Thursday provided guidelines to all the teams on draft day. All right, and it says the league issued a memo obtained by Tom Pelissero, and it informs all the clubs considering that for the draft, the first option is for clubs to operate out of their facilities. Now that may be a problem because some cities may not allow you to work at your facility. That's one, and you're not going to get written permission to draft football players to get it open. Government officials aren't going to give you a break for that because that would make them look like idiots. It's subject to mandatory health and safety guidelines issued by Dr. Alan Sills, which will include limitations on the number permitted club personnel at the facility and rigorous cleaning requirements. The second option is for the teams to operate completely remotely in personal residences with a clear prohibition of any number of clubs' personnel gathering in one residence. So that's probably how it's going to be. There'll be a couple guys in different houses. They'll be whatever apart. They'll be on film. The league will be able to see it, all that kind of stuff. And then they'll probably send in their pick, and then somebody for the NFL will do the pick like they normally do the commissioner, and that's it. You won't see who's making the pick behind the scenes from each team. That's my prediction. They'll send it in one way or another because I'm sure they're going to have multiple avenues to send it in. Audio, video, text, whatever. So that way it gets through for sure. And then they'll have that one person for the league that is receiving the information, then passing it on to an NFL official who will then be in front of some camera, which I would imagine is the commissioner, and announcing the pick. That's it. That's what's going to end up happening. It's not that big a deal. We're kind of making it out to be a bigger deal than what it normally is. It for them personally, is it a little better to be in person, see people face to face, and have these conversations? Of course. But the thing is, they've already had these conversations. They've already planned out the draft. They've already said, this is our first corner, this is our second best corner, this is our third best corner, and this is our 70th best corner. And they did that with the quarterbacks, and they did that with the left tackles, and the right tackles, and the swing tackles, and the center, and the guards, and the center/guards. Whatever. They've done all those combinations already. Those conversations have been had. Those rankings have been made. Now, is there a heated moment because two guys might be kind of the same and one position coach is fighting for one player and another position coach is fighting for another player and they're both, positions of need, but now the GM has to make a decision which one should he pick over the other, that kind of crap? Of course. That's going to happen. But you're going to have them on a teleconference. So they're going to be able to, all right, hey, what do you think? You got 10 minutes. So one coach, will spew his thing in 45 seconds. Then he'll go to the other position coach and say, what do you think? He'll talk for 45 seconds. And then the GM will say, okay. And then he'll look for a trade or look for a trade up or down to see if there's anything. If not, he'll take the player that he thinks out of it. That's it. It's not the end of the world. Let's not make this sound. We make this sound like this is something. You know what's crippling? You being out of work. You not being able to pay your rent, your mortgage. You not being able to make your car payment. You, if you don't have any money for food for your kids on the table. That's crippling. If these guys got to work from home and that's the biggest hurdle, oh, give me a break. It's easy to overcome. Look, if we were in 1950, that's a whole different ballgame. Communicating in those days, it's different. Now, come on, man. We got audio, we got video, we got phones, we got every which way to communicate. So that's not a problem. Everybody will be fine. Everybody will get their picks in, all of that. I already told you, the challenge is not how they have their draft rooms, whether they do it at the building or they do it at their homes. None of that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? The challenge is going to be, how good are your scouts? What kind of thorough work did they do? Were they thorough in their work is what I should have said. How much information did they gather about all these players? And the coaching staffs and the scouting staffs that were well prepared before this pandemic are the ones that are going to do the best on those days. And that's why I keep telling you, I get it. You know, for 20 years, people were like, well, why are you so negative? Why are you always picking up? Well, because they suck and they don't come through, right? And that's kind of what it was for 20 years. And now you're going to wonder, well, why the hell is he so positive about it? Well, because I kind of see that there's a boatload of scouts at heart. We don't have – see, this is the beauty of the Dolphins now. There isn't this bickering going on between the general manager and the head coach for power, and then there's some woman in the way, and she's trying to meddle in, and then you've got Mike Tannenbaum who wants to act like a football guy but isn't a football guy. He's an accountant. That's all gone. It's all gone.
You don't have coaches doing cocaine?
No, you're right. There's no coaches doing cocaine. None of that, bro. Nothing. Okay? We don't have any of that. We have a pure football guy in Chris Grier running the operations. A guy that grew up in this business, that his dad was a personnel director, okay? His dad had a hand in drafting Brady, by the way. And his brother was an exceptional player in the NHL. We're talking about a professional family. We're talking about a guy that's a hardcore football guy. So when he sees all the crap that's gone on with the Dolphins and they finally give him the keys to the kingdom, what does he do? He goes and hires a head coach that's also got scouting in his background. And then he goes and he says, well, wait a minute, these guys are great personnel guys and they're great scouts. And they're available. The Raiders are going to fire Reggie McKenzie. You mean the guy that drafted Khalil Mack? You mean the guy that got you Derek Carr? You mean the guy that got you to the playoffs and turned it around when in his first 2 years, he didn't have a first and second round pick? That Reggie McKenzie? Yeah, I'm going to bring him over. And Marvin Allen's available? You mean he helped Atlanta get a bunch of talent and Kansas City? Yeah, let me bring him over. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what, because I've been following personnel for a while. Those of you that have followed this show, we've been going to all these places for over 20 years, and I've gotten to know a lot of personnel people. And Reggie McKenzie is a badass, and Marvin Allen is a badass, and Chris Grier knows what the hell he's doing. And that's why I'm telling you, it doesn't matter where you're at. I don't care if you're at the facility or you're at home. How good are your scouts? How thorough are your scouts? Are your scouts going to find Preston Williams undrafted? Miami's did. That's what I'm talking about. Are your scouts finding Nick Needham off the scrap heap? Miami's did. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They look at their linebacker and they say, okay, this guy's undisciplined. He really can't cover. He ad-libs all the time and doesn't ad-lib really good. He's no Junior Seau ad-libbing. Let's trade his ass and let's bring in Vince Beagle because Vince Beagle's being underused there, but we can use him in a certain way here. Their scouts aren't doing it, but Miami's is. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You see the examples are there already. Eric Rowe. They figure out Eric Rowe can't play corner, but Eric Rowe can cover the hell out of a tight end. Your scouts ain't figuring it out, but Miami's are. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So don't worry about where the hell the draft's being held. If it's being held in somebody's bathroom, if it's being held at a facility or people's homes, I don't give a rat's ass. None of that matters. they can communicate in a world of communication. We're good. Okay? Zoom, IG, phones, text, Skype, whatever. There's many ways to contact each other. Okay? Not worried about that. I'm worried about who's got the better scouts, who's got the better information, who's going to unearth talent. That's what I want to know. I want to know, how prepared are you? And I think our guys are going to be better prepared than most. Okay? So when I saw that story and I see people talking about this silliness, I don't give a rat's ass about that. I know that the Dolphins are going to have an advantage over most because their heart and soul are people that love to scout talent. Okay? Your team is no longer led by a guy that's an accountant acting like a football guy in Mike Tannenbaum. The guy that a friend of mine, once getting on a plane, walking through the aisle, looks to one side and sees Mike Tannenbaum sitting in an airplane seat with a draft magazine in his hand. (786-322-1105). That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Papa Hogg says, "What's up, Big O? You the man? Miami front office now is too smart to be taking chances on Tua, injury prone to waste chances on draft picks. Think about it. They do not contract physicals with the veterans." Yes. I don't think they'll take Tua either, actually. I don't think they want to take Tua because of the injuries. But we'll see. We will find out. You guys know it. I've already said it. I'm the guy that would take a lineman there, and I would take Tristan Wirfs. Let's see, what else do we have here on the chat board. T-Bone says, "Hey, Big O, shouldn't you be home isolating? Can't do the show from home?" We do the show from home, but we have a couple of places. This is an essential place, and so we're here. But we're not around anybody, dude. There's nobody around here. We're in an area that we're all by ourselves, and we only have our table, our stuff, and it's only me and Bill. So I'm really not at risk whatsoever. And then all I do is get in my car and go home. That's it. Yesterday at Toyota and here, but we get to do the shows, but we're not like next to anybody.
You know, I was thinking about it, man. We haven't been out. Do you realize this?
Oh, yeah, weeks.
Since St. Petersburg, UFO.
Right. Yes.
Since we came back from that, it's
Right.
just been home and work.
That's it. Yeah, I haven't gone out at all. It's only been Toyota, Acura, VSS West Pines,
VSS.
and then home. That's it. That's the only thing that we've done. It says this is safer than you going to the supermarket. Like a million times safer what I'm doing than you going to the supermarket. We don't touch anything. So yeah, it's we're fine. But I appreciate you looking out. Thank you very much. Hialeah Bread says 56% of QBs picked in the first round are successful. It's a toss-up. Transition to NFL is a different ball game. Yes, sir. You are correct. It is a tough ball game. I don't know about the percentage, but it's a bad one. You're going to miss a lot at quarterback. A lot. You're going to miss more than you're going to hit, put it that way. Let's see. What else do we have?
That thing that we did, the Todd McShay thing since 2015, the rankings going into the draft.
Yeah.
There was only one guy that's worth a crap, Carson Wentz. The other 9, we're talking about the top guys
of
the
the
last
top picks.
5 years, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. Let's see. Douglas Anderson says, went back and watched some Dolphin games from last year with Rosen at QB. The offensive line was pathetic. Every down there, 1 or 2 or 3 defensive players in the backfield. Yeah, no. But Rosen also has to make better decisions. I'm just not that quick to blame it on everybody else and not the quarterback. That's just not, I'm not, it's up to Rosen too. Look, in my eyes, okay, this is the way I look at it. QBs it's kind of like human beings, okay? You could be around somebody and they could be a great person, but then you find out about them in times of adversity and things like that, and then they all of a sudden change on you and they become somebody you don't even recognize. You know what I mean? And that's the sign of when you find out about somebody's in adversity. For me, it's the same thing about quarterbacks. I want to see how you are under chaos. Are you giving in to that chaos? Are you just throwing the ball away? Are you just, are you turning it over? Or are you doing at least the most responsible thing under the worst conditions? So if people get into your backfield, are you making sure that you're getting rid of the football, but not intercepting it, not getting intercepted, but I'm saying throwing it away, making sure it hits the ground? Are you hitting the people you're supposed to hit? Are you checking down when you're supposed to? Are you taking the deep ball when it's there? Are you fine? All these kind of things. I got to see you in chaos. And while Rosen had chaos, he didn't play well under it. He gave in to the chaos. And that's kind of what goes on with Jameis Winston too. That as great as he is, when the things are going awry, he makes mistakes. And by the way, that's what happens to Tannehill. When he gets all pressured and flustered, that's when he can't do anything. It just bogs down. Now, if you give him airtime and give him space and give him all the time and give him a dominant running game and a dominant offensive line, and he'll make some plays for you. He'll give you 80 yards, 100 yards, 150 so you can win the game. But he's not going to carry you. He's not going to make a difference. So for me, I that's what I need to see from my quarterback. Can you work in chaos? Because you're just not going to have the Dallas offensive line for you from the mid-'90s. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to have Walter Payton and Emmitt Smith and Derrick Henry in your backfield. So there are times where you're not running the ball, so you got to do something. And so for me, I need to see my quarterback have moments where they can lift the team, they make people better, and when things are really bad, he's not making it worse. That's all I need. I know you can't win it because things are terrible, but you're kind of keeping the ship afloat at least. You're doing all right. You're surviving. But if some guys are dropping the football, that doesn't mean you should turn it over. Because a guy's missing a block doesn't mean you should turn it over. And because a guy is missing a block doesn't mean you always take the sack. You got to find a way to get rid of that football. And when you're rolling out, make sure before you step out of bounds, you throw away the football. You don't run out of bounds with the football 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage and give them a team sack. All these kind of things. I need to know what kind of quarterback you are. That, to me, that's when I know I have a quarterback. The guy that doesn't panic in chaos, and when you need him to elevate people, he can do it. And if he doesn't have those traits, then he's not my guy. Then he's just the guy, or he's terrible, or he's average, or he's a game manager. He's all those other things that, whatever. It's not attractive whatsoever. It's the Mama June of the position. Rosen is going to be the man. The fact that this coaching staff still has him on the team and coaching this kid up, I believe all the hard work this staff is putting in, Rosen will pay off nicely. Well, I hope you're right, Billy. It would be nice. Douglas says that eliminates Jordan Love. That's why I don't take Jordan Love at 5. I like Jordan Love a lot, but I like him later on because he's a project. I don't mind taking projects, but take them later on. When you have a top 10 pick, you don't take a project quarterback. You just don't. When you have a top 10 pick, you got to take a guy that you're convinced is franchise material. Not, if this, if that. No, you can't do that.
Those guys got to be plug and play, right?
Almost.
It's a little bit of.
The quarterback position is not a plug and play position.
Right.
That's the problem.
There's a learning curve there.
Obviously. It's really, really difficult. And another reminder, folks, for those of you out there listening, give us the thumbs up, all right, while you're watching. And also use the share link. Grab that link and share it. Send it to a text to somebody, a friend of yours that likes sports, loves the Dolphins, whatever, hates the Dolphins, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Send it, put it on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, wherever it is you do your social media work. And we thank you as always. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We are at Craig's Inns, Acura of Pembroke Pines. We're out here every single Friday. We do want to remind you that Moody's Dental is a proud sponsor of our program. We love talking about Eric and the great people at Moody's Dental. If you are in pain right now, folks, let's get you out of pain, all right? You got to fix that cavity. Call them, 305-821-0231. I get so excited because my teeth, all right, are getting straighter and straighter every day with my Invisaligns, and they are Invisalign and implant experts. 305-821-0231. Support the great sponsors that support our show every single day, even through a pandemic. 305-821-0231, MoodySdental.com.
SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
Will reimburse payments up to a total of $1,800 based on purchase and MSRP on approved credit on select models. Excludes tax, tag, title, and includes $8.99 dealer fee. Offer ends 5/4/20. Toyota of Hollywood is open, and we're here to serve you. The safety of our customers and associates is our top priority. Toyota of Hollywood is following strict guidelines, including social distancing and keeping our facilities clean and sanitized. Buy with 0 down, 0% APR financing, and we'll make your payments till 2021. Pay up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 2019 pre-owned Camry LE, not $27,000, $16,775. 2020 pre-owned Corolla LE, not $22,000, $13,775. Shop and save at our 400,000 square foot dealership at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2019 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
are back. It's a Friday. We're out here at Craig Zinn's, Acura, Pembroke Pines. We'll be out here for, I don't know, a couple hours more here. We will be joined by Tass Mellis here at the top of the hour, so we'll have a little fun with him. We'll talk a little basketball. We'll get his thoughts on some of the things going on in the world of basketball, because every sport is obviously facing this. I mean, it's the weirdest thing, right? Because none of us have really experienced something like this, that it puts a stop to everything going on in the world, pretty much. Right? This is nuts. I mean, even criminals are taking a break. Even crime is down. The only positive out of all of this, have you noticed those satellite shots of how we have less pollution now? Like, it's clearing up because we're not, like, pounding our earth every single day with every car out there and factory and all of that. This is the weirdest thing, because most of us have never experienced this. Something that puts an entire country, an entire world at a standstill.
Yeah, everything is ceased. Normal standard operating does not apply.
There's very few things that are kind of normal.
Did you see what California stipulated?
No, what do you mean?
If you're non-essential business and you're trying to stay open, they have the right to report you and go to the utility companies and turn your water and your power off.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you're shutting down whether you want to or not there,
Right.
buddy.
This is a government emergency right now, dude. This is an emergency in the world. So, yeah, we want to stop the spread
you
of
want to
this
stay
thing.
open and make some money? No, buddy.
Yeah, man. If you got a group of people you're hanging with and they're healthy, stay hanging with those people. That's all. Don't go hang out with other people. It's just ridiculous. But this is the weirdest thing, because I hope we never have to experience something like this again. I'm afraid that we will. If, we're going to have to deal with something like this down the line again. I don't know when. I hope it's a long, long time from now. But this is just so crippling how all of our lives are completely changed right now.
Oh, if they're talking correct, man, there's going to be a second wave. They're saying next year.
Yeah. Well,
And obviously that gets back to a vaccine or a cure. That's the only way to cease.
Hopefully by then, and I know that they're working on the people that have already had it and trying to use their antibodies and all that stuff to try to create it. So we'll see if they're able to do it. I hope they are. That would be really, really good.
You know
if they're
what?
able to do it.
You know what would help immensely, man, here? All those people that were against stem cell research, this is the kind of thing that stem cell research assists immensely. Because you're able to fast track. Instead of like doing one test, it like gives you the blueprint and results on like 10 or 20 or 100 at one time. That's why stem cell research was so important.
Well, if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can reach out to us at 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. I don't know if you guys saw this. Here's the other thing that goes on in this sick world. And you know what? We got to wear like gloves every day now. The other day, there was a video, I don't know if you guys saw it, an Amazon delivery person delivers a package, then spits on it. And was caught on camera, because most houses now have a camera in front of your house. Almost everybody's got a Ring or whatever the hell it's called. We've got one too, which kind of compounds the whole issue. Like, how stupid are you to do something like right in front of the house where they've got cameras? Okay, so I can better this. And this is such a bad look for Amazon, because this is happening more often. Amazon has got a problem with drivers leaving bodily fluids with packages. The latest outrage footage comes from Maryland, where a Ring camera caught a driver peeing on a homeowner's lawn, driveway, and sidewalk last weekend as he stood outside his cargo van. Now, we're told the reason for the driver's outdoor urination was he locked himself out of his van and apparently couldn't hold it any longer. And as you can see, the driver looks around seemingly to make sure the coast is clear before deciding to take a leak right there and then. The full ring footage shows the driver guy dropped off the package when he got back to his van and he realized he locked himself out. So he had to call for help. Unfortunately, nature also called while he waited, and he couldn't hold it. Now, in this guy's defense, in the middle of this pandemic, homeowners might understandably be less likely to let him in their home to use a bathroom. I mean, there's a part of me that has a little sympathy because, brother, when you got to go, you got to go. One of those kind of deals.
Yeah, it isn't like you could just jump in the truck and, drive 3 miles down to Burger King or whatever and jump out. Yeah, you got to go, man. It's like now.
But it's like right on the driveway. Couldn't you go find an alley next to the house?
On the side of the building, right?
At the side of the house or something. Just try to hide.
A tree, a bush.
No, this guy's right dead center in the driveway peeing. Just right there. He delivered it faster than Prime. I mean, come on. Pee into the gas tank. That might help out a little bit. No, that wouldn't, actually. That's pretty... that's a screwed up story. And Amazon's got a problem, man. They're just hiring to hire because there's too many of these guys out there that are screwing things up. I saw that story of that woman that bought a kiddie pool for her daughter. And so they delivered it, and it was on her doorstep. And some lady just drives up to her house, sees the package. I think they're called package pirates, or porch pirates or something like that. And she pulls up, grabs the package, and puts it in her car and drives away. And then there was a good Samaritan that saw the story, and he owns pools. So he went and, was able to obviously contact the woman. And they, out of the kindness of their hearts, they went and built a pool for him and put an above ground pool for the lady. Because she's a nurse. She's working all day. So she wanted something for her child. And, it's why would you go onto somebody's yard and steal their package? I mean, seriously, come on, man. Can we have some common decency in this world? Just a little bit. Just a tiny bit of common decency, please. Poor woman's working hard all day. William Fonticella says the flu has killed so far this year, has killed almost 26,000, on pace for almost 50,000 deaths this year. No coverage. This is media paranoid. Hey, William, let me ask you something, buddy. When somebody's dying from the flu, are they right in their bedside next to them? Yes, they are. Notice how you can't even be in the same room with the loved one that is dying. It's 10 times stronger than the flu. Mr. Fonticella, please, you along with others, stop with the stupid-ass statement of comparing this to flu. It's not the flu. It's 10 times stronger. That's why the numbers are doubling all the time, like rabbits, because it's way more contagious than the flu. The flu's been around 1,000 years. Can you imagine if you leave this thing around to fester for 1,000 years? You see how many people are going to die? Man, it's amazing how we still have that thinking out there. Brother, Mr. Fonticella, you are so lost. It's embarrassing how ignorant that statement is. They let you hold your loved one's hand while they're dying with the flu. You go see what happens with COVID, buddy. You can't be in the same building. My Lord. Wow. It's just the flu comparisons are just so, those are irresponsible. when you make that comparison because it just shows your ignorance. Fauci will tell you it's 10 times stronger than the flu. And the 50,000, that will be approached very shortly by this and surpass it. I mean, they're expecting, you're saying 50,000 this year. They're telling you 100 to 200,000 alone in the U.S. are going to die. So, William Fontisella, do the math worldwide, buddy. If it's just 100 or 200 just in the U.S., can you imagine what's going to happen with all the countries combined? Yeah. As Abba used to say, yeah.
Maybe the guy lives under a rock. He's not aware of anything, you know?
Wow.
I mean, even Trump has changed his tune. That should tell you right there how serious this is.
William says he's proud of me because I pronounce his last name correctly. Brother, just get this pandemic correctly. This thing is serious, man. Serious. It's taking people down. It's way worse than the flu. Agree, Big O. And those morons with a dose of karma sooner or later will hopefully, they will be there and they will be enlightened. All I need to tell you is if you have a loved one that is dying from the flu, you will be in the same room saying goodbye to them. With COVID-19, they don't allow you anywhere near your loved one. You die alone. Okay? That's the law. You have to die alone. They can't allow you in there. You think it's not serious? Come on. Rye says, touch your face again. No, but I didn't touch it with the hands. I went this way. Okay? I went like that. You know, so it's not that bad. I'm not touching anything here.
No, man. Well, you usually scratch your ear with your elbow, right?
Yeah, normally. Or toe. Take it out of my shoe, scratch it with my toe. COVID-19 is one of the few viruses that is airborne and a contact precaution. I mean, hell, they're talking about that you can spread it by talking. That's how scary it is. I mean, you gotta, some of you need to have a healthier respect for this thing is what needs to happen. Because the people that look at it like the flu are the people that are at church in Tampa. Those are the people looking at it like that. Did you hear about Corona beer? You know about Corona beer, right? You've heard of them, right?
Well, I mean, Tony Romo does the commercials for him, right?
Yeah, well, production of Corona beer is temporarily suspended in Mexico due to the coronavirus pandemic. So Corona stopped Corona. Grupo Modelo, the company that makes the beer, posted the announcement on Twitter stating that it's halting production and marketing of its beer, so no Tony Romo, because the Mexican government has shuttered non-essential businesses. The Anheuser-Busch InBev-owned company also makes Modelo and Pacifico beers. This week, the Mexican government announced the suspension of non-essential activities in the public and private sectors until April 30th in an effort to curb the spread of the virus. The country has more than 1,500 cases and 50 deaths. According to John Hopkins, Group Modelo is ready to enact a plan to guarantee the supply of beer if Mexican government decides to include breweries as essential, according to a statement. There you go. Breweries are not essential unless you're in Ireland. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in. You know, I do have to tell you about one thing that I saw. Conor McGregor, speaking of Irish, he is now saying that Khabib chickened out of UFC 249. So McGregor is going after Nurmagomedov, saying that he chickened out. He goes, the fact of the matter is this. Both Tony and Khabib were engaged in a game of chicken here towards the fight bell, the Notorious said on Thursday, with Khabib chickening out. Khabib scurried out of the U.S. to home amid the crisis, very high risk. McGregor said, congrats, Tony. Now, here's the thing I want to say to Conor McGregor. Conor, buddy, Khabib is not chickening out, okay? Khabib is stuck in Russia. If that's where he wanted to go to train and then he realized that he was going to get locked in, it is what it is. And Khabib gave you a thorough ass kicking. Okay, Conor? He beat you into submission. Remember how we were talking about how Stephon Gilmore was Devontae Parker's bitch in Week 17 of the NFL season? Well, Conor McGregor, you were Nurmagomedov's bitch in the octagon that night. I don't think you have anywhere in the world to stand on to talk about Nurmagomedov. It makes you look like a bigger punk than you have been already in the past. And you were trying to turn the corner. And you were trying to show people that you actually could be a decent human being without punching an old man at a bar. So Conor, buddy, let's get a little common sense. I know you lack it. I understand that. I get it. You're not the brightest bulb in the chandelier. But I think most of us know that Nurmagomedov is probably not afraid of anybody on the planet. And I think we kind of view him as an ultimate badass. Way better than you, my man. Because we already saw both of you in the ring. And that guy doesn't even have to waste his time anymore with you. But for you to be making fun of Khabib, come on, dude. Come on. I get it. You're desperate. You want to get back on top. Your ego's bruised. It's battered. It's hurt. You fought a nobody to kind of get a win, but you have no respect now anymore in the game. The average person doesn't look at you anymore. They kind of look at you like you're just a big mouth now. You're now an inflated Chael Sonnen, basically. That's basically what you are. You're the Irish version of Chael Sonnen. So your attempts and your shots at Khabib, since most people won't tell you and they can't, but maybe somebody will play the video for you. I just want you to know most people are laughing at you. And most people think you're a clown now for going after the guy who thoroughly kicked your ass. Okay? He didn't barely beat you. He didn't just edge you. He didn't get lucky with a shot. No. He thoroughly beat you down. So I don't think he's afraid of you or anybody else. And you can kind of tell when guys have it or they don't. You know the guy that in his eyes you can see is not a guy of fear. Some tells me that Nurmagomedov is not a guy of fear at all. But that's just me. Just ran into Greer in the Publix in Plantation. He was not wearing mask or gloves. Stood closer than 6 feet away from me. Had to tell him, VMAC, no matter what, to leave him alone, Big O. All right. Nice job by you, sir. Let's see. Man of 1,005 holes says, if you still think this is just a flu, please research. This is a deadly weapon. Of course it is. What else do we have? Dougie Fresh. Oh, will you please answer a question about punters that I've always wanted to know? What's the stat that tells you the punter is good? Net, hang time. See, the problem is there's not a specific stat. It's about who can control the football. It's not always about who can kick it the farthest or who can kick it the highest. But can you coffin kick? That kind of stuff. Can you control the ball? Because you might be only at the 40-yard line. They're 40. So if you don't have touch with your leg and all you are is all leg, bam, and you're just going to punt it right through the end zone, then the special teams coach is going to look at you and like, dude, I need you to put it inside the 5. So there's not that, like when we were young and we saw Reggie Roby with his big, thick legs just whack the hell out of the ball, and we would watch it go up in the air, and it would come down like 7 days later, and we're like, wow, that guy's great.
He had his watch on, checking the hang time.
Right, checking the hang time, right. I mean, his watch would run out of battery before the ball landed. Okay, so I get all of that, but there's more to it than that now.
The guys that are badasses now are the ones that put that backspin like golfers do, and like on the 5 and it dies.
Touch.
That is amazing.
So if you can't control your kicks, then that's the punter you want. It's not just, hey, let me just whack the hell out of it. And if that's all you can do, that's nice, but only for certain situations. Yeah, we're backed up in our end zone. Yeah, we're at the 5. We're at the 10. Yeah, I need you to boot the hell out of the ball and as high as you can. Right. But there's a lot more to it than that.
They talk about the net gain, right? Because if you kick it into the end zone, if you put it at the 20, you were at the 40, it's like a 20-yard punt.
Yeah.
You know, if you drop it inside the 10, it's 30 yards.
Yeah.
You picked up 10 yards.
Raul says that at least Shale is able to articulate well. That's pretty good. It's a good point. Go Gator says, I don't know. Connor won a couple of belts, so I wouldn't compare him to Shale Sonnen, but both are big mouth D-bags. No, my point is, Go Gators is that's where he's headed now. He's now going to be a mouth that's going to lose more now. That's what's going to happen. He didn't lose this last time because Cowboy was a deadbeat. Cowboy was a tomato can. I mean, give me a break. That wasn't going to be a fight. That's my point. That if he gets in the ring with like a real fighter, he's going to start losing a lot now. That's my point. He'll talk a lot, and he's going to lose a lot. Maybe not as much as Shale because he probably won't be around that long for like Shale has. Like Shale's been around so he can be a punching bag for all kinds of guys. Let's see, what else do we have here? Let me leave in peace says, we're talking about punters now. COVID-19 got us now. You're right. All right, Tass Mellis is going to join us on the other side. He was involved in a funny story. He had this program that he bought for $125. And he thought Vince Carter had signed that program. So he posted it like they were talking about memorabilia stuff. So he posted it how he had pride in this program signed by Vince Carter. And he's a huge Raptors guy too. And so Vince Carter saw the post and retweeted him back and said, hey, man, I'm sorry, but that's Alvin Williams' signature, not mine. And so Tass was, he made fun of himself. He goes, no wonder I was the only guy bidding. So we're going to talk basketball with Tass Mellis. He does an excellent job with the No Dunk Inc. podcast. We're going to ask him about some of these things that are going on with the COVID-19 virus. Can the NBA players all be stuck in one place to finish the season? We'll get his thoughts on that and more from Tass Mellis next.
Will reimburse payments up to a total of $1,800 based on purchase and MSRP on approved credit on select models. Excludes tax, tag, title, and includes $8.99 dealer fee. Offer ends 5/4/20. Toyota of Hollywood is open, and we're here to serve you. The safety of our customers and associates is our top priority. Toyota of Hollywood is following strict guidelines, including social distancing and keeping our facilities clean and sanitized. Buy with zero down, 0% APR financing, and we'll make your payments till 2021. Pay up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 2019 pre-owned Camry LE, not $27,000, $16,775. 2020 pre-owned Corolla LE, not $22,000, $13,775. Shop and save at our 400,000 square foot dealership at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2019 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All right. Trying to get in contact with Taz Mellis. See if we get in contact with him. Anyway, we will take you a little over another hour we got here on the program. Of course, we're coming to you live from Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines, the finest dealership in the business, baby. And also, we thank VSS West Pines. They are open. Now, they're open for pickup only. You can order by phone, so if you want to get your CBD products and maybe you're dealing with pain right now, or stress, anxiety, your dogs, your cats. They've got it. They've got the e-juice. They've got the disposable vape pens. They've got all kinds of papers if you need from raw or smoking. They've got hookahs. Go to VSSWestPines.com. They're at 12397 Pembroke Road. You can call them. Save it on the cell phone, 954-613-3367. That's 954-613-3367. And you can call them. You can order, pay for it right there and then you drive up, and they'll take it right out there to the door, right to your car. You don't even have to get off. How beautiful is that? Huh? And top-of-the-line CBD products. I can tell you because my wife, she had this shoulder pain for like a week, and she started taking the CBD patches that they gave her, and within a couple days it was gone. And she could right away she slept with less pain. Because once she put on the patch, within a half hour the pain had subsided immensely, and so it allowed her to even sleep better throughout the process. So I can tell you because I've witnessed it myself. They've got different type of CBDs to help you sleep. I've tried whether it's smoking it. They've got rolled joints. They've got them in the dab style. They've got gummy bears, all kinds of stuff. So if you need, like for me, I don't sleep well.
Gummy bears. Dion Waiters is on the way.
There he is. Yeah, but the rest of us are looking for the medicinal side. He's looking for a different kind of gummy bear. Okay, he wants to get entertained. This is different. Remember,
Oh,
CBD,
he just turned the car around.
that's right. CBD is not a drug. It's not illegal. It's not going to get you high. It'll relieve pain. It'll relieve stress. It'll relieve anxiety. Those kind of things, but it's not going to get you high. So if you're going to go buy it to go get high, that's not what it's about. But you will feel good. It won't be a high, but you will feel good. That I can tell you. Yeah, and it does help you sleep. So if you want to, and again, whether it's tinctures or edibles, the tinctures go right under your tongue. The edibles are either chocolates or gummies or jelly beans or ice cream. So check it out. 12397 Pembroke Road, VSS West Pines. And tell them that Big O sent you. Trust me, they will definitely take care of you.
Are we going to be there Wednesday next week,
Yes,
right?
yes. Next Wednesday, we are planning to be there for the next couple of Wednesdays.
Field trip.
Yes, so that'll be cool. We'll be able to get out there and enjoy ourselves, which is a beautiful thing.
You know what? I think we should do?
What's that?
Seriously, call Jose and ask them to have juniors come out there again.
Oh yeah, yeah. That definitely would be nice. Get a little juniors out there again.
I'm just saying,
I don't know. That was delicious. The juniors was very, very good. Cannot complain about juniors. Did you see that the rapper 6ix9ine got released from prison because of the coronavirus? Now, there's all this talk because Bill Cosby wants to get out because he's afraid of the coronavirus. R. Kelly's trying to get out because he's afraid of the coronavirus. Tiger, what's his name? Tiger King?
The Tiger King guy.
Yeah, the Tiger King or Tiger whatever. He wants to get out because of the coronavirus. He's, they've got him confined. So they granted 6ix9ine. He got a huge break. Documents obtained by Billboard. The rapper born Daniel Hernandez will be a free man after a New York judge granted him compassionate release in light of the coronavirus outbreak. His discharge will be effective immediately, and according to documents, 6ix9ine will be on house arrest for the next 4 months under supervision release. Not only will he have a GPS monitor, but he'll also have to be live at the address agreed upon on his probation officer. Also, 6ix9ine can only leave his house if he's required medical attention or needs to visit his attorney. All right? He was initially slated to be released this July. Now, they released him because of the threat of corona. Well, what about his threat on us? Because I would say people aren't necessarily safe with that guy around. Right? I mean, seriously. This guy's got a hell of a record. This is not a good person. This is another piece of crap in this world. Just say it. All right, we got to free him so he doesn't get corona, but we can free him so he can possibly hurt somebody else out here. Okay. All right. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, all right, let's just release a scumbag early, just because, it's corona. I get it. Just put him in a cell by himself and he won't get corona. That's all. Pretty simple. But I get it. July, you need the space. Maybe you are separating prisoners, whatever. But I just saw that, and it's like all these lowlifes now want to get out of jail because of the corona. We're all in house arrest anyways, most of us. We're all day in our house. Like, I get to come out here for a couple of hours to do the show, and then I'm back home. It's like we're all there. You could be there in your jail cell. That's fine. R. Kelly, we don't need you out on society. 6ix9ine, we don't need you out on society. Tiger King, we don't need you out on society. We're not better off with you part of our society. We're better off with you guys all behind bars. That's where you belong. That way another woman doesn't get assaulted by R. Kelly. Animals may not get tortured anymore if you got the Tiger King there. And 6ix9ine, who knows who he's going to hurt. Could be anything or anyone.
It's not a woman that R. Kelly is. That's a child, actually.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Oh,
Children and women, yes.
I have Tas Mellis for you, sir.
All right. The Task Man is on. No Dunk Inc. is the podcast, part of the Athletic family. You can follow him on Twitter like I and so many others do at Tas Mellis. Let's bring him aboard. Tas, how you doing, baby?
Big O, how you doing? It's been a long time.
Yeah, bro. You corona-free?
No idea. You never know. You
Right.
never know. But haven't been. I think I'm all right at this point.
Right. Because if we've been like at this thing for almost 3 weeks now, and you don't have the symptoms, you kind of feel like, you know what, I might be all right. So I'm like doing exactly the same thing I do every day, just to make sure I don't get out of that rhythm, so I don't risk anything. Right? That's kind of what it is.
You got no choice. That's exactly what you got to do. Otherwise, it's a multiplier. You know, you meet someone, you talk to somebody, it can just get around real quick. So, you stay in the exact same thing. And luckily, I've kind of been quarantining myself anyways. I've got a little baby at home anyways. It's kind of the same thing for me. I really haven't been changing much.
Yeah, no, me too, actually. My life hasn't changed that much, although, I do go to a ton of concerts. That's the one thing that has changed. And hell, who knows when I'll get back to a concert with this damn thing. So, I was ripping the commissioner a couple weeks back when he had the idea of playing the games without the fans. And I said a couple weeks back that the only way you can do that is if everybody's the boy in the plastic bubble, and that you've got to sequester everybody. So that's kind of what's come to light, is that now people realize that the only way they're ever going to get this thing going, at least during this stuff, is if you sequester everybody, coaches, trainers, broadcasters, players, put them somewhere. I know they're talking about Vegas. Jay Williams talked about a boat. Paul Pierce, I don't know what he's smoking. He wants Area 51. I don't know what the hell's going on. Tas, is this really something that can be pulled off? Can you actually get players and everybody to do this, Tas?
I think it can be. It's such a long shot, and I think it's, this is just my preliminary thinking without any inside information. I think it's way down on the list of what they would want. Ideally, they'd be doing it, with fans, but to pull off the whole idea in a sort of a secluded city with minimal skeleton type staff, arena staff, broadcasting, camera people. It's a long shot. It's a real long shot because, like you said, when you're talking about yourself, you would have to have all of those people quarantined for several weeks beforehand.
That's right.
And basically guaranteed some way that they would have to be monitored, that they wouldn't be out in public for several weeks beforehand. Otherwise, the entire operation could get sick very, very quickly. And obviously that would be a huge, huge black mark on the league. And so it just takes one. It really takes one person to meander away from his hotel, even if it's in some sort of city like Las Vegas, and contract the disease, and then everybody's got it. And so this is, I think, of what they want to be done. I think this is way down on the list. This sort of secluded idea, but you're right. I mean, that's almost the only way it could get done with the way things look, because of the way that the U.S. Hasn't had this shelter-in policy mandated throughout the entire U.S. It's sort of state to state, and many states aren't even doing it. So it's seemingly day by day, as this continues to keep getting worse and worse, it's less and less likely that we're going to see an NBA season, period, wherever it is. And I don't think it goes to a point where we just see, let's say, like an NBA Finals. If it gets to like August and things are somewhat okay for a couple teams to play, I go that far because I don't think they want to go too deep into the calendar year with the 2019-20 season. I think they would just scrap it and start new.
And let me add another problem to all of this, why it's not realistic by the league also, Tass, because we're watching the UFC now. Dana White is going crazy trying to put 249 together, and it's a skeleton crew. And remember, the law is you can't have more than 10 people. How the hell do you pull off a basketball game if you can't have more than 10 people? It takes 10 just to play the game itself without referees, coaches, and a bench and broadcasters. So, and maybe, the broadcasters can be a mile away up top, so that doesn't matter. But everybody else has got to be within the vicinity. So I don't know how any city's going to approve you to have more than 10 people inside a building on a court. That's the part. And bench, all the guys are sitting next to each other on the bench. So what are you going to do? Are you going to have a bench where the guys are 6 feet apart? How are you going to do this? It just doesn't fly.
Let me jump in. I mean, I know it's crazy that the UFC has even pulled off events before 249 here, and they managed to do it. And it looked obviously crazy on television without a fan in the stands. Yeah. And it's different. It's different there that it's one-on-one. But I think you could pull it off, because you said the law is not 10 people. Is restricted to 10 people, but there's not a law. Hasn't been anything mandated by the federal government. It's just a state to state thing, right? So you can find, I suppose, like if you wanted to skirt the issue, you could find a state to do it in at this point. But it doesn't make sense. It doesn't, like if you want to be the league that tries to pull this off amidst all the other leagues that aren't trying to pull it off, it looks terrible. And I questioned why the UFC went as long as they did, trying to make these things happen, and they're still continuing to try and make this one particular fight happen. It's a little bonkers to watch from the outside, and it has to be. I know I said it's not a law and you can try and skirt it, but it would be dumb to do so. And the NBA it doesn't seem like they would try and pull something off like that. I think it would have to be a situation where the country is getting healthier on the whole, and then it just becomes things are beginning to get more normal, and then maybe like you brought up all the example of the skeleton crew and being on the court, then maybe it could happen. But the length of an NBA playoffs is generally 2 months, and that would have to be shortened. I just, the longer we go, the less likely it is to happen, but it could be a shortened version of the playoffs, sometime during the summer. So I don't think it's dead at this point.
Yeah. And the other thing that I was thinking about is it depends on how long this thing stretches out. How much does it affect next season? Or is there a chance that we finally get to see the NBA move? Even if this drags out a little bit, they can still have some time off and then start in late December, start in Christmas and go into the summer. And I know that the TV companies don't want that in the summer and all of that. But, I mean, hell, if your finals are sometime in August, towards the back end, right before football starts, you pretty much have the country there and watching those playoffs. I think you'd get monster ratings. Plus, with the kids at home, they could watch even the late games. They could actually stay up during the summers, and you won't lose the kids. I don't know. I just think it would be beneficial if the negative part might lead to something positive for the NBA schedule-wise on a permanent basis. Any shot of that?
It's a great question. I think if they were going to try it 1 year to push back the beginning of the season to the idea was even floated before the whole Corona started, before the virus was really present in the U.S. By Steve Koonin, one of the Hawks owners. So I think that started the idea. We were talking about it way before March and February on our show on No Dunks, because just logically, like you said, you kind of get out of football's way, and you're really competing more against baseball rather than more against the NFL. And as an observer, as a casual sport,
that's not
it's just less. It's less competition. But I don't think it happens this year. I think if it was a year that they would, if there was a year that they would try it would be a year that didn't come with all these complications beforehand. There's a lot of complications with, like you said, the television companies, with dealing with the summer next season, with just a lot of people having jobs, moving the calendar for people into the summer, and a lot of things I don't even understand, to be honest. But I think there's a lot of balls in the air on that side. And then if you're piggybacking, if you're compounding it with everything that's happening in the country now, I think it's, let's say all the advertisers and the TV stations are trying to figure out how the heck we pay our people, where we're making our money in July, August, September, October. And then there's this whole new thing that we've got to figure out to deal with our advertisers, to switch up our television lineups, to tell people they're working in June, July, and August. And I'm sure there's another bunch of reasons. I don't see it happening this year. I think it would just be too much for everyone to handle. But that's for somebody with a higher pay grade than me to really wrap their head around.
Follow my man on Twitter at Tas Catch the podcast No Dunk, of course, for The Athletic. They do a great job as always. With the players that you've been able to talk to or contact over the last couple of weeks, how are they about all of this? Are they dying to get the season back, or are they more worried about health and saying, you know what, maybe this is one of those seasons we got to just end right here and move on and turn the chapter? What do you get from players at this point? Because this thing's dragging on, Tass, and I kind of worry about bringing everybody back and injuries that really could come from all their bodies being cold for a couple of months.
Yeah, I think the players are really on top of this issue, and it's a far bigger issue than basketball. And I think the NBA is a pretty progressive league. People aren't just burying their heads in the sand and thinking about themselves and thinking about their paychecks and thinking about my basketball legacy at this point. I think all the players, like you saw Steph Curry talk to Dr. Fauci, one of the leaders in the coronavirus task force, and everybody gets that. We may not play, and they've been secluded and they're quarantining themselves. And when it hit home with Rudy Gobert, the Utah Jazz player, contracting the virus and a game being canceled, as it was, I was watching that game. I was ready to work at NBA TV that night, and in Oklahoma City that night, they're sending out all of their acts, all of their musical talent, all their dance crews, like for half an hour, trying to just kill some time as they figured things out. I mean, it was sort of surreal, and I think NBA players are very much in the know as to what the heck is going on in their league. And so everybody I was working with that night was just flabbergasted. Everybody just couldn't wrap their heads around what was going on. So I think NBA players, they got it from the get-go. And I think there are a lot of people paying attention to the news, who are paying attention to the news actually in January and February and March when this thing was barreling towards us. I think people got it, and you're right about people getting injured, etc. I think the NBA is really cognizant of giving guys rest, not having back-to-backs, and you see guys and teams suggest that players sit out all the time because they're really aware that how their bodies are supposed to perform. So I think there would be a good warm-up, a good, quote-unquote training camp before this thing got going. So I don't think, I don't talk to a ton of NBA players, but I think the ones that I have spoken with they're just like you and me, really. They're just worried about what the heck is going on with our country and how we get back to normal, and how people, that have lost paychecks are trying to figure out where the heck they're getting their next meal from. And a lot of people, and a lot of them are donating their money and their time and creating awareness around that. So, kudos to a lot of those dudes. And that's what they're worried about. The Big O, I don't think they really care about if they're getting paid on April the 15th all that much. I think they're just ready to, they're quarantining. They're vocal about what the heck is going on, and making sure that we're all taking care of ourselves for at least a few months. I mean, they understand it's not the end of the world if they don't get out there in the first round of the playoffs. They understand that it is a lot bigger in basketball.
No doubt. Tas Melas joining us Tass, we get a lot of entertainment from social media, and you obviously got a little action on social media this week. Went a little viral, and we talked about it on the show a couple days ago. It was a funny story with your program that you thought it was a Vince Carter signature, and it was an Alvin Williams signature. So first of all, tell everybody the story, how it all happened, and how Vince Carter kind of straightened you out and maybe disappointed you a little bit too.
Well, I mean, I was a teenager way back in 1998. I went to this fundraiser for Marfan syndrome, which is a disease that a lot of athletes have, actually, because it affects tall people, and so it's affected basketball people. But I mean, that was besides the point. They got a Raptors program that was signed by Vince Carter, or at least I thought it was. At least I thought it was signed by Vince Carter. They got it donated to them, and so I put up a bid in a silent auction. It started at $125. Put my $125 bid down, and nobody else bid anything. Maybe they knew something I didn't, but there was no certificate of authenticity. I asked for it, Big O. I was a 17-year-old back then, but I was, in the card collecting game. I understood that things could be fake, but I thought it was a Vince Carter signature. Anyways, I took it home really, and this past week, The Athletic was just generating some social media content, and they just said, tweet a photo of some random sports memorabilia that you have. So I tweeted that photo, and then it was like 9 hours later, Vince Carter retweeted and said, hate to break it to you, but that ain't my signature. And he said, it's probably Alvin Williams' signature. A teammate back is a great Raptor, won a playoff series against the Knicks back in 2001. But then, actually, you said it was Alvin Williams. It wasn't his. Alvin Williams actually saw it, retweeted, and said, nope, that ain't mine either. It's actually it's actually our other teammate, John Wallace, from back then. So I went from Vince Carter to Alvin Williams to John Wallace.
John Syracuse? John Wallace?
Yeah,
okay.
Syracuse. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it was a good. It was a good season for him. He averaged 14 points a game back then. That was his career high in the NBA. He played for the Knicks a little bit, but
I remember.
It was bonkers, man. It was bonkers. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I think I got my $125 worth.
Yeah. So, but what are you going to do with it now? That's the question. Are you taking care of it now like you used to, or did you just throw it on some pile now?
Well, I got to be honest. It was just on a pile beforehand too. I mean, it wasn't. No, I wasn't doing anything with it. It was collecting dust for 20 years. It was just sitting there. It was probably. It was definitely the most I ever paid for a signature. I'll tell you that. But I got to get Vince to sign it now.
Right.
I'm down here in Atlanta. We do our show down here in Atlanta. He's come on our show before, and he's just spent his last season in the NBA here, and so I got to hit him up. I think I got to talk to him about it too. I mean, we got to get to the bottom of this.
Well, no, the best part about this, Tass, is now the magazine has a story to it. That's the best. See, that's the thing about this. And you know what? You added even more spice to it. If you now get Vince Carter to sign it, it's like, okay, what I paid for, all these years ago, now I get my money's worth and more, because now I get Vince Carter's signature, and now I've got like 3 other NBA players that are all tied to this thing. There's a story to it. It's actually worth more than $125 now.
It's gained value. Or maybe I'm just making this whole thing up. Maybe I just signed it myself. No, I'm just kidding. That's just kidding.
You know what you got to do?
All good, yeah.
You got to get a picture of your magazine and the retweet of Vince Carter, and then have him sign that also.
Yeah.
And then frame both.
That's a good call.
But frame both the
That's
magazine and that next to it. That way, when people ask, that's it, dude. It's an entire story that's tied to it. It's freaking classic. You gotta love it, man.
And then I got to get you to sign it because you came up with that idea.
Well, no, it's just I don't know about the idea, but I mean, it's just I thought it was hilarious.
No,
that was great.
It's a good call.
And by the way, tell folks, because they may not watch the show like I have religiously for so long, that you're a monster Raptors guy. I mean, that's like your team, so this means a lot to you.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Toronto. I grew up a baseball fan and a hockey fan, and then the Raptors came to town in 1995 when I was a teenager, and so I jumped on board with that big purple dinosaur they were playing in a baseball stadium. But I got attached to it right away, but I really got attached to it when Vince Carter became a Raptor. He was transcendent, man. Those first few years, he was absolutely incredible. He made me and buddies pony up and pay for some season seats when we were in college. So that was a time he really sucked me in. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm not 100% certain the Toronto Raptors would exist without Vince Carter and the way he attracted a new owner to that city and to that franchise. And so he really turned that franchise around. And I had season seats for a lot of dark years, a lot of bad years, and then moved down to Atlanta to do our TV show. And then the Raptors got good, and it was just my luck. They go on and they win the championship, and it was incredible. The entire country was going crazy, setting up viewing parties in every single big city and small city throughout the country. It was Canada's championship, so. It took a long time to happen, 24 years for a championship. And I know a lot of other cities have been starved for far longer than that, but it was a roller coaster. And so, yeah, BC kind of started it off a long, long time ago. He wasn't able to achieve a lot of things, team-wise in the NBA like people thought he would. A lot of people thought, he came out of North Carolina and people saw the athleticism. So initially they think, whoa, this guy could be MJ, which is, a little bonkers looking back. But, I mean, he had the athleticism, and so people thought he could be, the best in the NBA. It didn't happen that way, but he's a special guy. The guy's still playing at 43 years old. So, yeah, it means a lot as a young fan growing up. And so I'm happy for him in general, and happy I got a story now for that program.
Oh, yeah, big time. Tass, before I let you go, we're all kind of hoping down here that the season ends because the Heat kind of shocked the world, and they kind of outplayed what everybody thought, and a whole bunch of young guys, stepped up in a big-time way. Just out of curiosity from afar, what's your thoughts of our Heaters here kind of turning things around a little bit?
I think they're one of the best stories of the season, and always behind my Raptors. The Raptors are a great story of the season. I actually was looking forward to them getting into the playoffs, in that 4 or 5 spot if they were going to play the Pacers. I think even, let's say they do go back, I think they got a good shot against Pacers, especially because Victor Oladipo hasn't been able to really find himself quite yet, and this gap is really going to hurt him. So I think that he'd have a great shot to go up and probably play the Bucks in the second round. And because you never know exactly what's going to happen with this time off. So I think there's a decent shot that they could at least shake the Bucks. I mean, they've got all those defenders to guard Giannis and Bam and Jimmy Butler and Andre Iguodala. I think this time off probably hurts Andre Iguodala because he wasn't in his flow. But all in all, I was really, 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 really impressed with the way that they integrated all those, second round picks and non-drafted guys. I mean, it is a lot like the Toronto Raptors winning the championship last year, and how they, Fred VanVleet, undrafted guys, Pascal Siakam way down in the first round, a lot of guys that weren't expected to be great, and have found a role in the NBA, and Duncan Robinson and Kendrick Nunn and Chris Silva, and on and on and on. So it's a great story. It's a great story. It's obviously a great, great, great franchise, and it's really impressive. And there is a lot of likeness to the way the Raps did it, and the way they connected their G League team and their minor league team and their player development to it. So, man, I was looking forward to their first season. I wonder, it was first playoffs, I should say, altogether, and I wonder if it hurts just not having that. If it doesn't end up being if there doesn't end up being a season, if that really hurts them in their development, just not having a run. Yeah.
No, it does, because they don't get the playoff experience, Tass. You know that for these young guys,
Yep.
it doesn't hurt Jimmy Butler. It doesn't affect his ass whatsoever. But Bam and Tyler and all these cats and Duncan Robinson, they need that trip through the playoffs to experience it, to feel the pressure, all of that, so they can have that thing to build on, because that's what we've watched from
Yep.
Bam every year. We've watched Bam improve every year to the point that he's now an all-star. It's the same thing. These guys don't get that experience. That'll be crushing for them because it'll take them an entire season again to get to that point to go get that experience in the playoffs.
Yeah, and the thing with Jimmy Butler is he's not a young,
No.
30-year-old guy, whatever he is. I think he's 31. I think you got to take advantage of every season he has here as a number one guy. Yeah, he's still 30, but the way they handled him in Chicago, he could use
Go ahead,
he could use all the reps.
Tass, go ahead and say it. He's got the Tom Thibodeau burned out legs. I'll do it for you, baby. I'll do it for you. I know.
Thanks, man.
I know. Hey, listen, I said when they acquired him that this acquisition is not going to be a good acquisition if they don't add a star in his first 2 years. And Riley has one more year, because if you wait to 2021 and 2022 to do that, you're going to have problems, because I don't think that's going to be a good deal with Jimmy in years 3 and 4, because I think he's going to really show, his wares, unfortunately. So to me, it was really – that's why these young guys exploding is really, really a bonus for them, because that they nobody expected that. And you really need that in a little bit to mask what Jimmy can't do anymore. That's all.
Yeah, and I think Jimmy's been holding it for the playoffs a little bit as well, holding back a little bit for the playoffs, because he was incredible against the Raptors last year with the Sixers. I mean, he was their go-to guy. But yeah, he could use one more guy, and Pat Riley's always ready to make that happen, even though they've sort of locked up a lot of their money the next couple of years with this Iguodala deal and everybody they've added. He can still find a way. That's Pat Riley. So. Yeah, you're right. It would be nice to get somebody in the near future for Jimmy and Bam, who's been incredible.
Follow him on Twitter. He's awesome, at Tass Melas. Tass, you are a stud, my brother. Thank you for taking some time and talking a little b-ball. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Big O. I appreciate it, too.
You got it, baby. Be good. There you go. The great Tass Melas. Check out the show, No Dunk Inc. That's the podcast, part of the Athletic family. Let's take a break. Mike Ferrellino, baby, no-go zones. Mike, no-go zones will join us on the other side.
You know what this story reminds me of, like the magazine, like you were pointing out? Remember Michael Jordan and the kid getting the $5 from him on the bet?
Oh,
and
yeah.
him signing?
Yeah.
Same idea.
Yeah.
It's got like a life of its own.
Now it's actually worth something. All right, let's take a break. We will talk to Mike No-Go Zones next. He's going to tell us about his trip to Lebanon. Yeah. That was on his way to Syria. Okay? So these are stories you got to hear, and we'll talk.
It is so cool. It really is.
We talk to the man that goes to places that you would never go, but then after he goes, you can follow. Back with more right here on The Big O Show.
Will reimburse payments up to a total of $1,800 based on purchase and MSRP on approved credit on select models. Excludes tax, tag, title, and includes $8.99 dealer fee. Offer ends 5/4/20. Toyota of Hollywood is open, and we're here to serve you. The safety of our customers and associates is our top priority. Toyota of Hollywood is following strict guidelines, including social distancing and keeping our facilities clean and sanitized. Buy with zero down, 0% APR financing, and we'll make your payments till 2021. Pay up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 2019 pre-owned Camry LE, not $27,000, $16,775. 2020 pre-owned Corolla LE, not $22,000, $13,775. Shop and save at our 400,000 square foot dealership at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2019 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to
America's
get...
safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, welcome back.
This is the Big O Show.
We take you a little bit more. We got about another half hour here on the program. We told you we're going to talk to my man Mike from Mike No Go Zones. You got to go to the website on YouTube. It's Mike No Go Zones, and he goes where most won't, like New Orleans, like the South Bronx, like Opelika, like Baltimore.
South side of Chicago.
Well, that's next. Syria was a place he went to, and we had him on a couple weeks back to promote it. Well, in order to get to Syria, he went through Beirut, and so he did a video special also of his trip through Beirut. It's a shorter episode. It's probably his shortest episode on his YouTube page, but it's amazing because it's not what you expect, and that's the best part about his series is that he takes you to places that you would think you would never go, but then when he's done, you're like, oh, wait a minute, that place is not so bad. There's some really nice people there. Some good places to go. Maybe I should check it out. So Mike is kind enough to join us now. Mike, how you doing, my brother?
Hey, how you doing, Big O? First of all, thanks for having me on. Good afternoon, everyone. And wow, let's hope this nightmare pandemic passes us by one day. Hopefully, the sooner the better.
Yes, I'm with you, man, because you look at what's going on now, and we don't know when this thing is going to end, Mikey. We'd all love to see it end. But it's just one of those things that every day there's a new, like yesterday when I'm watching and they're telling us, well, maybe it's better for everybody to start wearing masks because you might be able to transfer this while you're talking. And now it's like, okay, so it's not just the things you touch. It could be the air you're breathing, and that's how contagious this thing is. This is scary, dude.
It's unreal. It is crazy. And not only that, it's affecting all of us. I mean, no sports to watch. Speaking of which, one question I wanted to ask you. The draft is when, the 23rd or the 26th of April?
No, 23rd through the
How monstrous are those ratings going to be? Talk about a captive audience.
Oh, yeah. No, that's why Dana White wants to do UFC 249 because he knows he's the only thing on the planet. So he'll pick up people that don't even like UFC, and he'll get people to maybe like UFC all of a sudden. That's why Dana White doesn't want to bring any normalcy to us. He doesn't care about that. He just knows it's great business to be the only one on.
Of course.
And the NFL owners, they know the same thing. And they go, okay, we're the only dog in town, the only dog on the planet. Everybody's going to be watching us. Let's get this thing on. That's why the NFL wants to do it. They want to, and so does Dana White, because they know. I mean, look at ESPN. They pushed up the Jordan series because they know that they're going to get a better audience at this time because they don't know 2 months from now we might be more at work. We might be back to our lives, so they'll have less people. Now, like you said, captive audience. We've got everybody at home right now.
There you go, captive audience.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good reason to watch my series, too. I mean, if you're tired of Netflix and this whole Tiger King mania going on, it's a nice switch up.
That's right.
But, yeah.
No, go.
I was saying, the video I just released, I released it last night, actually. And you're right, it's only 7 minutes long because I wasn't in Beirut long enough to do, usually my episodes brought between 30 to 40 minutes. But, when you're only there for a day and a half, I couldn't record as much. But you're right, Beirut is an amazing city. It's a very, I was going to say, what's the right word?
It's vibrant. It's vibrant.
Very vibrant, yes. Vibrant and mixed.
Yes.
You will see a nightclub next to a mosque, next to a casino, and a church, all like within a block.
Right. Yeah.
It's really it's all jumbled up together.
When I watched it yesterday, I think I forgot what the number was, but was it like 16 or 18 different religious
religions? Correct.
Yes.
There's 18 official religions in Lebanon.
Yeah,
and it's crazy.
One of the things that I found very interesting is how there be two different places of worship literally next to each other, which is something that
Correct.
you would think would cause some kind of a problem for somebody, but they're very open about exercising whatever religion you want to exercise. So that's actually pretty cool that it's not you're not forced into one type of religion and one type of thinking. They allow people to choose whatever they want.
Of course, but they have a really weird, unique way to divide the power up too. I don't know if you remember, like to be the president, you have to be of one religion. To be the prime minister, you have to be another religion.
Right.
Now, what that causes is sectarianism. And just think, like, to be the president, you have to be a Maronite Catholic. So if you're not, then that means you will never, ever be president. And for some people, it's like a slap in the face. Like, hey, how can it's a form of discrimination if you think about it.
Of course.
So it's kind of weird, like, how it's set up. And they did let's not forget, they did have a brutal civil war there that lasted 15 years. Now, of course, that all ended a while ago, but still there's, some scars remain, and I'm sure some people lost family members, and there's going to be a little resentment for a while. But for the most part, the people of Lebanon are kind of united now. Well, this is before the whole pandemic, because the protests that were occurring every day united all the people against the government because they're just so tired of the corruption and the sectarianism that rules over the society there.
Wow. That's
yeah.
And so tell me a little bit about the freedoms there, because a lot of people think that maybe they're kind of limited in what they do. It looked like
no, it's
go ahead.
Women can wear whatever they want. I mean, you hit up a nightclub, it's like South Beach. It's the fashion you wear there is totally up to you.
Right.
Now, with that being said, yeah, you do see a few women in hijabs, but it's not the majority, and it's kind of like you wear what you want to wear, you eat what you want to eat, and there's pretty much every type of cuisine available. And the alcohol laws there are really liberal. It's like being in the States almost.
And it's right on the water too. So how are the beaches there?
It was too cold when I was there, so it was freezing actually.
Okay, but how do they look?
But they do look nice. Yeah,
okay.
they do look nice.
Okay.
It was, unfortunately, I went to a seaside cafe and it was just pouring rain. So I pretty much was staring out into a misty Mediterranean Sea, but it still is, it's still nice to look at. And during the summer, I hear it's just totally, a lot of people go there from all over the region to party on the beach resorts there because they're known for bringing in DJs and live music. And, plus because the laws there are so liberal, let's say you're living in a more conservative society like Kuwait. If you go to Lebanon, you could totally let loose, drink, and, go gambling and have a great time. Whereas in their home countries, they can't. So it's kind of the playground of the Middle East.
Okay. Well, interesting. You would figure Dubai is the playground.
It is, but Dubai is really expensive.
Right.
Dubai really caters to the really high, the jet set.
Right.
And it's great if you got the money, but if you're just a regular guy, you can go to the beach in Lebanon and, crack open a drink and, have a good time.
That's amazing stuff. Mike Fiorellino, by the way, joining us. You can follow his show on YouTube. Go to Mike No Go Zones. Find it there. Subscribe. Check out the latest video from Beirut. Check out the Syria one. It's a 2-part one. It is fantastic. It'll blow you away. and then he's got several other episodes from different places he's been to. Once this pandemic is over, what are the plans? What are the cities you're going to visit? What's the next no-go zones?
Oh, well, if you watch the very end of the Beirut video, I announced it. It's Detroit.
Okay. All right.
You changed my mind. Because when I said it, I think when I was on your show, I said, I was thinking of Atlanta, but Atlanta doesn't have that same, you're right, it doesn't have that same cachet of danger. So I figured, let me stay in the States. Let me hit up Detroit.
Okay. All right. What's and what's other ones that are maybe that you're on?
L.A., definitely L.A. and St. Louis.
Dude, but L.A., you can like go to multiple places.
Oh, I know. There's no shortage of no-go zones there.
Yeah, dude, because you could go to like Compton, or then you could go to Long Beach. You can go to East L.A. I mean, there's a lot of challenging places because
sure.
That place, I've been there now several times, and man, that place is enormous. Holy crap, that place is enormous.
It definitely is.
There's a reason why they're all the streets are run down. There's no way there's enough money in the world to keep up with all the streets and bridges and highways and everything that they've got going on in LA. That thing is so huge. It's amazing. So yeah, LA would be, dude, you've got like multiple episodes in LA.
No, absolutely. I can definitely, we can actually do another episode here in Miami too.
What's next? Which one? Because I know you did Opalaka.
Opalaka. Well, I think I mentioned to you when I was on the show, Miami Gardens, I think would be compelling because we've all been there too. I mean, I'm sure between just me and you, how many Dolphin games have we been to? Hurricane games. So, we went to a couple of concerts there.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, it's just amazing how this beautiful, let's be honest, that seems really nice. I really like what the ownership did there. It's really a beautiful stage for whatever event you want to hold. But why is that community so, they call it Murder Gardens.
Really?
That's the nickname they give to it.
I didn't know that.
And
really?
Yes, it's an area that, people just drive in. For example, you go to a game, you leave right away. I mean, you tailgate after the game or whatever, and then you drive home.
Right. Yeah.
No one lingers in Miami Gardens for any reason.
I got you.
And it's a real shame why can't they capitalize on that? Because, again, the city of Miami Gardens has a captive audience of all these people, but no one sits there goes to a cafe or eats anything. Everything that is done there is done strictly at the stadium.
And by the way,
and then we all leave and go home.
And all they do is add more events there because you're adding an F1 race. The practice facility is going there now to go along with Rolling Loud, Jazz in the Gardens, football games, Dolphins, concerts. I mean, it's the tennis tournament. It's amazing because it's a year-round type of thing. They have a slew of events, so it really behooves them to try to create something around that really could, get people to stay and stick around, or go there early to go to places early on and then go to the events, that kind of stuff. If you're Miami Gardens, you have to find a way of taking advantage of all of that.
It's amazing how no one politically has thought of it or tried. I don't have the answer, but I would definitely like to dig deeper into why is this being ignored? How can you have all these tourists and people come from all over the world? I remember I went to see a Barcelona game years ago there.
Oh yeah.
You had tourists from everywhere, from Europe, from Latin America, from all over the States. And I'm like, wow, how can Miami Gardens capitalize on this? This is right here in our backyard and they're losing out big.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. That's I never thought of that, but that is interesting, man. Mike, tell them a little bit about the website so they can check it out over on YouTube.
Okay, if you go on YouTube, it's Mike No Go Zones, or you can go on. It's on every social media platform: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I do have a website, MikeNoGoZones.com. You can go there too and access all the links there. Everything's there. It's plus there's a little bit about my background there, why I'm doing this and what's the end game.
Okay.
But you can go there too, and I guess keep listening. Another thing, listen to your show. I mean, it's I can't thank you enough for helping me promote this series and for being a fan. I'm as big a fan of yours as you are of mine. So I'm really glad you allow me to do this.
Well, I appreciate it, bro, and I admire what you're doing. I think it's really, really cool, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And by the way, I just realized something. You are a Libra like I am. I'm born October 1st. You're born October 9th. I didn't know that.
Wow, you have a good memory.
I just realized. No, I'm looking at your Twitter page, and it says born.
Yes.
So I am cheating, but I just noticed that you and I are Libras. So I didn't know that you were only a couple days right after me. So good stuff there.
Yeah, there you go. And I share the same birthday as John Lennon, who ironically was my favorite Beatle. You know.
Yeah. Well, there you go, and that's my license tag, John Lennon.
No kidding. Okay.
Yep. I got the.
Very nice.
I figured I'd get something music related or sports related, but I didn't want the Dolphin one because it had the new logo. So I said, all right.
I get it. Yeah.
I hate the new. I can't stand the new logo. I hate it. I can't tell you how much I hate the new logo. It's just.
It's like too friendly looking. There's no menace to it. You know.
I only hate Jeffrey Loria slightly more. Okay, that's just all I can tell you. All right. I mean, slightly more I hate Jeffrey Loria. The logo's just right under Jeffrey Loria. I can't wait till they get rid of that crap. But anyways, my brother, I appreciate you as always. We will continue to promote my no-go zones, and I can't wait till you go to the streets of Atlanta or anywhere else that you go, my brother. I'm looking forward to it.
We're all locked in. Or how great would it be to go to a game together, or even a show? Yeah, I mean, who knows when this is going to finish.
Well, once this gets going, we'll definitely be going to a concert soon. But although we might be going with masks and gloves if we go to a concert. I mean, really, seriously, early on, I don't know. It's hard, like when they lift the restrictions, to go right away to a place where it's packed with other people. That's going to be kind of dangerous. Moment.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's. I think you think people are going to be so pent up though to do anything social? I mean, to witness anything. But then again, you have a good point. I mean, because let's be honest, these concerts are sweaty, they're hot, full of people.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
People,
now remember, we have the people that are still not even taking this serious, and they'll go out anywhere. Like Dana White.
True.
That's willing to do
true.
anything. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So those people, the second you lift the restrictions, they're off and running. So, yeah, there's going to be but there's a lot of us that are actually being careful, and we have family members. So we're
true. Very true.
That's the thing, that a lot of us that are being responsible, we're not being responsible just for us. We're also thinking of our loved ones. You know what I mean? Like Bill thinks about it, not just for himself. He goes home and it's his parents that he's got to see. I got to see my daughter, my wife. I don't want to pass it on to them. So most of us as Americans, we're not just watching out for ourselves. We realize that we can hurt the people we love, so we're looking out. But we have that group of individuals that they just don't give a crap about anything.
Well, it's very selfish behavior.
Right.
Extremely selfish.
Right. And it's going to be off and running. You know what I mean? Like yesterday, I read the story today of that lady that got arrested in the Keys. And she gets to the roadblock. They tell her, ma'am, you don't live here. You don't work here. We cannot let you through. So she leaves the roadblock, but then makes a U-turn, goes back, and tries to get through the roadblock again. And they tell her, you can. And she says, well, no, but I got to get in there. It's my bucket list to drive through all the Keys bridges. That's all.
Jesus Christ.
And she gets arrested for that. You know what I mean?
Of course, and deservedly so.
Deservedly so. Exactly.
I mean, bucket list. Come on, that can wait.
Of course, that can wait. Plus, that's a terrible bucket list. Seriously?
Yeah. Well.
I mean, that's your bucket
list.
Lame,
driving.
But come on the bridges of the Keys, really? Come on.
I mean, for me, it's the pyramids of Egypt. But that's me. But anyway, Wait, whatever. What can I tell you?
I mean, you want to cross the Golden Gate Bridge? Okay, but come on, the Keys bridges. Oh, please, that's nothing. That should not be a bucket list for anybody. I mean,
what's that saying? Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah,
but
but that woman. No wonder she's from Wisconsin. They're that bored that's their bucket list. That is just sad. Anyway, Mikey, you are the best, my brother. Keep cranking with Mike No-Go Zones, and we will continue to support it, my friend. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. And listen, stay safe.
You got it, my brother. You too. You stay safe.
All right. Okay, take care.
You got
All
it.
right,
Mike
bye-bye.
Fiorellino, baby. It is Mike No Go Zones. And go to his YouTube page. Check out the episodes. You'll learn a lot about a lot of these places. Just watch the Opalaka one. You will learn things about Opalaka you never knew, and then you're going to go, oh, wait a minute. When this pandemic is over, I'm going to go visit that brewery.
The
they've
brewery,
got there.
yeah, man.
You're like, what? They got a brewery there? Yeah, dude. Yeah. So go check it out. And he's also on Twitter at Mike Fiorellino 2. You can follow him there on Twitter also. But it's Mike No Go Zones is the website.
Really
Good
cool
stuff.
idea, man.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And actually, talking to him, I said to him, do you are you a black belt? Like, do boxing?
Yeah.
Like, considering some of the places, like, and then, no, just, normal guy.
Myron says Mike needs to go somewhere in Central America. All right, we'll tell him, my man. We'll tell him. I mean, I'm sure eventually he'll get to some of those places. Let's see. If Greer drafts the DT from Auburn, I'd be okay with that. Guy has killed the SEC, and Ed O swears by him, and the kid from South Carolina. Oh, the kid from South Carolina is a badass. Let's see. What else do we? Pilar Avela says, I recommend the video, has wonderful content. Well, thank you, Pilar. Let's see what else. Hialeah Bread says Super Bowl said live from Miami Gardens, but showed South Beach. Yeah, they do that all the time. They always say South Beach, and none of the teams play on South Beach. John Santos says, hey, are you going to do Sirius this weekend? Yes, I am on tomorrow morning on Mad Dog Channel 82 from 8 to 11 a.m. So, yes, I will be there. Hialeah Bread says, I wish they'd make that last year's classic uniform a primary. I'm with you, man. Yeah, that stupid whale is terrible. Mark McIntyre says, need a full face shield guard the eyes too. I mean, eventually we might get to that point. Dom says, the overseas highway is awesome. Floridians take the keys for granted. Yeah, that's what Bill was saying. I've driven through the Keys many times, and I've driven through the Golden Gate Bridge many times. I'm just saying, okay? There's no comparison. I'm just telling you. Just drive through the Golden Gate Bridge. That's a bridge you want to drive through, okay? The 7 Mile Bridge, it's nice, whatever, but sorry, man. It's not. It's just not the Golden Gate Bridge.
No, but the Keys is very unique. The way it's this island, there's a bridge. This island, there's a bridge. And it's all pieced together. It's very unique, man.
I get it. It's unique. I get it. But it's not bucket list. It's not bucket list.
If you're from Wisconsin, it could be. Because
Well,
you don't, because you always want what you don't have. They don't have anything like that. Nothing.
Thank the Lord I'm not from Wisconsin. Nothing wrong with Wisconsin, but obviously it must be too boring that you're I mean, come on, bro. Bucket list is that?
Here.
I mean, like Mike No-Go Zones just said it right now. Like pyramids of Egypt. Now
yeah.
That's a bucket list.
Well, you're talking about wonders of the world, man. That's
Halle Berry. That's a bucket list.
when Halle.
Just saying, she's smoking hot.
I will say this: there was one thing that
The
was
Lord made something really special in Halle Berry.
no doubt.
Okay.
There's something that when I was up in Racine, Wisconsin, and it's like the biggest busy street, and it's got the mall, the big mall there. Okay. Now, right catty corner, right across the street, was a lot the size of the mall, the land of that same square footage, and it's just filled with ducks. Okay, that have obviously migrated down from Canada.
Right.
And they could not do anything to that land because, this is where the ducks go, sanctuary, whatever that, for their habitat.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, you see all these cars and all this major traffic, and here's this field over here with these ducks that are like, hey, we'll be back next year. This is ours. You're not taking it.
Right. Yeah.
And, it did have some cool stuff. Wisconsin actually was really cool.
786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105. 1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter, and that is at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. Remember I told you about the Texas students that the
trust fund kids. Yeah, the trust
They chartered a flight to Cabo San Lucas, 70 of them, and then 44 came back with the coronavirus. Some of them came back on commercial flights. They all didn't come back together, which makes it even worse because they probably spread it to somebody else on those commercial flights. So everybody's ripping the Texas kids, which they deserve to get ripped, right? But the Nevada-based Just College repeatedly encouraged the students to go ahead with their trip and refused to offer refunds despite repeated warnings by health officials against non-essential travel. At least 44 of the 70 students that boarded the chartered flight from Austin to Cabo on the 14th have now been diagnosed with COVID-19. They're all students at the University of Texas at Austin, which confirmed the number of infections on Thursday. A New York mother whose daughter was supposed to go to Mexico says the company should be held accountable for telling the students there was nothing to worry about. I certainly think they were lulled into thinking it was safer than it was, said the woman who asked not to be named because of the online harassment against UT Austin students in recent days. Her daughter canceled the trip days before the departure, but the company has declined to offer refunds. Based on publicity available, information that has been reported, we believe that there is no compelling reason to reconsider travel to Mexico at this time due to the coronavirus, a Just College representative told her in March 12th in a Facebook message read by the Daily News. We believe that our destination remains among the safest and most enjoyable destinations in the world to visit right now, the representative wrote, noting that there were more corona cases in the U.S. than in Mexico. However, it's still unknown if any of those students brought the virus with them on the plane, as it takes several days for the symptoms to begin. Some people may not even experience any symptoms, experts say. So how about that? Now that part, first of all, see, the other student from New York, they decided not to go. And now they can challenge this company, sue them, whatever, and they'll get their money back because they've got a case now.
A really good case, actually.
Hey, let me tell you something, because I've done this before. Southwest Airlines, if you cancel a flight with them, you get credited. They don't give you your money back normally. Well, we had obviously flights to Vegas. And when I canceled them, you know, there was, I wanted they gave me a refund. And there was no questions asked because of the coronavirus. So, you know, they were understanding in that situation. It's not fun for them to have to return us the money, I'm sure, but they were very understanding in that situation. And that's how these guys have to be too, Just College. They deserve to get sued because they put people at risk. Now, I also blame the kids and the parents because if you know the pandemic is going on and it's building, you got to decide not to go. Because I was already worried about Vegas weeks ago. I was already saying, man, I don't know about going. You know, I was like, man, if I got to go with a mask on the entire time. I was already planning. Weeks ago, I was saying that. So you got to take this serious. And that's the problem, that you got to stick to your guns. And I get it that, I mean, listen, they chartered a plane. They got to have money. If you chartered the plane, then, you know, you're not broke. You got some cash. If you have the kind of money to charter a plane, then you can say, you know what, I'm not going and I'm going to take my chances. I'm going to sue you. Because they're going to get their money now. There's no way that legally their argument's going to last in court. Because this coronavirus thing is, there's no way you're going to get even a jury that's going to be unbiased about it. Because everybody's suffering from this thing. So they have everything to stand on there. The only thing is they got to go after this company. But for them to do that, that's disgusting. That they actually did that. Sad, man.
Not only that, then they release that statement that they think it's okay.
Yeah.
It's like not only they like doubled down on it.
Yeah. More news yesterday out of the Tua camp. He underwent a voluntary medical recheck Thursday that was facilitated by the NFL Combine, and the results of the comprehensive exam were overwhelmingly positive. Laura Rutledge says, the mouthpiece. The recheck was performed by Titans team doctor Thomas Bird in Nashville, where Tags has been training. A source told Rutledge, the mouthpiece. Bird was chosen by the NFL team physicians. All 32 team doctors and trainers were allowed to give input on the type of exams they wanted done. The rep told ESPN the results were shared with all 32 teams, the rep said. Bird is one of the premier hip specialists in the world and has done many hip surgeries on NFL players. The doctors also received the scan that Tags had about a month ago to use for comparison as part of the evaluation. So there you go. Says, I'm 100% now. I'm ready to go. And again, more propaganda that's thrown out there. And it's, again, means nothing to me whatsoever, because just because you've recovered from an injury doesn't mean you can't get re-injured. Doesn't mean you're durable. Doesn't mean you can take hits. And by the way, nobody in their right mind is going to put Tua out there in week 1. So he's not ready to go. He can tell you all he wants that he's ready to go. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. He suffered this injury in November. We are now in the beginning of April. It's only the 3rd day in April. So do you think from November to April he's really 100%? Of course not. He's 100% that he can run around and throw the ball a little bit. 100% that he can take a hit. Oh, and by the way, they hit you right on that hip all the time in the NFL. Just saying. It's nice propaganda. I just think it's not the smart thing to do to pick this kid at number 5. To expect him to stay healthy is just nuts. I just don't see it happening. Again, I will understand if they draft him because of the Drew Brees desperation, and this league is desperate. But it just doesn't make any sense to draft him. Let's see. Tua 100% and can play a game today, he says, and I believe it. You go ahead, man. I got a bridge also in the Keys to sell you. You could also, maybe it's also part of your bucket list. If Chase Young is there at 5, will your Finns draft him? Oh, hell yeah. There's no way he falls to 5. How can the best player in the draft fall to 5? Unless he's got like some cocaine rumor, meth rumor or something. We got to have something like, no way that guy falls to 5. No way. Great news about the vaccine. I would like to know exactly what it is, though. Fair enough. I don't know what you're talking about. There's a vaccine? Are they talking about some vaccine out there?
Well, they're actually testing some stuff.
Oh yeah, but
they got yeah,
takes forever, bro.
Exactly.
It's not even
exactly.
They can talk all they want. It takes forever to get approved and all that stuff.
What they were saying is with these clinical tests and stuff and the placebo, counter, they're talking about somewhere in the summertime that they might have, definitive, like we're on the right track, let's say. So, look at it, man. That's freaking 2-3 months away.
It's crazy. All right, little music news. 3 Doors Down. Do you like 3 Doors Down? I like them.
For sure, man. Yeah.
They are streaming live tonight at 7 p.m. Central. So 8 p.m. our time. So if you want to see a little 3 Doors Down for free, You will be able to catch that. Go to their Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff on their social media, and you'll get a little Three Doors Down. Nice job by Metallica. Their charitable foundation, All Within My Hands, continues to step up. They have announced 4 grants totaling $350,000 that will be dedicated to organizations assisting the relief efforts during coronavirus pandemic. In the wake of the spread of the coronavirus, the most vulnerable people in our community need help now more than ever, stated the band, while revealing the Feeding America Direct Relief, Crew Nation, and USBG National Charity Foundation would be receiving the financial aid. So nice job by Metallica. Very cool. And in sad news today in music, Bill Withers passed away at the age of 81. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Yes. And, of course, Lean On Me. Everybody knows Lean On Me. Bill Withers, man, is a badass. An absolute badass.
Some all-time iconic songs.
My
Hard.
God.
Yeah.
Ain't no sunshine and Lean On Me. Are you kidding me?
Those two, yeah, man. How many movies have those songs been in?
Oh, and the beauty of great music, ladies and gentlemen, okay, it doesn't die. Okay? I can jam Ain't No Sun. In fact, I'm going to get in my car, I'm going to hit my iTunes, and I'm going to put Ain't No Sunshine in honor of Bill Withers. Because I saw that as I was preparing here on the show. I saw that, and it, like, made my heart heavy at that moment. Because obviously, I'm 53, man. I grew up with this kind of music. This was on my K-Tel albums. Okay?
Wow.
Damn right, bro. I'm old. Old people know what I'm talking about with K-Tel, huh? Young people are like, what the heck? What's it? Dad, what's that K-Tel stuff? Mom, what's that K-Tel stuff? Yeah. So if you're young and you have no idea what I'm talking about,
Probably on 8-track.
just go say, hey, what are K-Tel records and 8-tracks? And then they'll explain to you what that is.
You know what I'm going to do, man? Because you mentioned Three Doors Down. I'm thinking about that time.
Yes.
Vertical Horizons, Fuel, just getting turned on to Incubus, all that early 2000, 2001, 2, 3, around that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Some good stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. Just outside the 90s. It's some of the very few good stuff that's left over. Actually, unfortunately. I mean, there's still some good bands coming out, so I'm not going to say it because, obviously, whether it's Hailstorm or Greta or In This Moment or Texas Hippie Coalition, Them Evils. I mean, there are newer bands that I do like. Skillet. I like Skillet. Yeah, man. There's several bands that are new that I like. So, yeah.
Oh,
no doubt,
Aldalita's Way, man.
Oh, yeah. I love them.
Black Moods.
No doubt. No doubt. But Bill Withers, rest in peace, sir. Rest in peace. Thank you for the incredible music. We got to thank, of course, Larry Schlossberg and all the great people out here. Remember, they've got the Acura loyalty program going on right now. So if you own or lease a vehicle, an Acura vehicle, and you want to come on down and get a new one, they'll give you $500 off the purchase of that next one. Also, you can purchase, and they will drive it to your house. And they've got 90 days, no payments. So if you buy or lease, they know that times are tough right now. So in that transition, they're going to give you 90 days. So you have to make your first payment, and then we're back to normal and hopefully back to a normal world, which is what would be nice in a few months. We thank all of you for tuning in. We thank all of you for your enormous support. We're going to be watching the downloads because we are getting closer and closer to the 1 million mark. So hopefully we'll be in that 1 million mark in a couple of hours here.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, amazing. 7 months ago we started this thing, and we're going to hit 1 million downloads in, I would say in a couple of hours. We'll probably hit 1 million downloads, and we will post it. But for all of you out there, thank you so much.
Because of you guys.
Yeah, go to our YouTube page. Please subscribe to our YouTube page. Please share the YouTube page.
Because
Tell
of you
folks-
girls also the girls.
Yeah, the ladies are out there.
Man, they are. They're,
Everybody is supporting
they
our
chime.
show, and the numbers are growing every single day, and we thank you for that because you know it's the only place in South Florida to get objective sports talk. No politics. We're not tied to the teams. You can get what you want to hear here every single day. Hey, tomorrow we'll see you on Sirius Mad Dog. We'll be on 8 in the morning, 8 to 11 in the morning, channel 82 on Sirius Mad Dog. I don't know, maybe we'll do something on Sunday if something breaks. You never know. Follow us and we'll tell you. But be safe out there more than anything else. Much love, folks.
Stay the course, yeah, and be safe. Thank you again. Y'all have a nice weekend.